and updates will be provided where appropriate without compromising the integrity of the investigation. Upon finalization of the investigation and the gathering of all relevant evidence, the docket will be submitted to the National Prosecuting Authority for a decision.
And Donald Trump says he's sending his envoy Steve Witkoff to meet with Russian leader Vladimir Putin in Moscow next week as the U.S. president seeks to close out a deal to end the war in Ukraine. Trump posted on his Truth Social platform that there were only a few remaining points of disagreement, but European leaders were skeptical as Russian missiles continued to hit Ukraine. An initial U.S. plan, which was heavily weighed in Russia's favor, has been replaced by one taking in more of Ukraine's interests. Trump also expressed hope to meet soon with Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, but only when the deal to end the war is final or in its final stages. Trump then later told journalists aboard Air Force One that Witkoff may be joined in Moscow by the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
They're going to keep talking. They're talking to Russia now. Steve Witkoff is going over, maybe with Jared. I'm not sure about Jared going, but he's involved in the process. Smart guy, and they're going to be meeting with President Putin, I believe, next week in Moscow.
Gold is trading at $4,166.62 an ounce. The rand is at 17.17 to the dollar, 22.66 to the pound, 19.90 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $62.70 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got some delays on the N3 South. This is in the Lindbro Park area, just as you approach Vincent Chabalala Road due to roadworks. There's also queuing traffic along the N1 North between the N12 exit and the Diepkloof interchange.
And in your sport, the Proteas 8 wickets away from winning a test series in India for the first time in 25 years. Orlando Pirates beat Chipper 2-0 to move level with Sundowns at the top of the table. Champions League victories for Chelsea and Benfica and Juventus, while Manchester City and Newcastle both lost.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. Johannesburg starting at 10 degrees, peaking at 25. Pretoria 13 and 27. Vereeniging 16 and 26 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Residents of New Hanover in KwaZulu-Natal have been warned to brace for more heavy downpours while the area grapples with floods that have swept away 2 people.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
Just gone 8 minutes past 6 o'clock. Good morning from me, Ray White, in for Bongles this morning. Bongani back again on your airwaves tomorrow morning. Good morning, Johannesburg, Swane, Soweto, London, Beijing, wherever you are listening to us from. It's good to be in your company this morning. Looking at that cricket score, India now 42 for 4. We need those wickets. Hopefully during the breakfast show, we'll see some of those wickets coming. Well, the entire breakfast team is here. Cindy does have your sports. She'll have an update on that story. Amos got your traffic. Mateo, your business. Siam Tanda's here with Papa Lile. Ropiwa, she helped put together your show or producing your show today. And then KG pushing your buttons. And Safisa, as you heard, has got your news. Now, lots to talk about this morning. Our shout-outs. What is your biggest fear? Are you scared of being buried alive? Are you scared of, scared of the dark? I spoke to Africa earlier on. He's told me a story about a snake that dropped from a ceiling fan while this couple was sleeping. He's scared of snakes. What are you scared of? Let's get into it.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Okay, so talking about what's your biggest fear, it's our shout out today. We'll get to the serious news shortly, although this is quite serious, actually. I'll let you know why we're talking about it, because it's coming up shortly, a biggest fear. Mateo, what's yours? Scared of the dark? I don't know. What terrifies Mateo?
Not so much the dark, Ray. I think for me it would be a bear, but of course we don't have that. We don't have those here. I mean, a few years ago I went to Canada to a place called Yellowstone, which is heavy snow and a big bear area. And the entire time I was there, yes, we were working at some diamond mine, but I was just like looking behind my shoulder, over my shoulder, because Have you seen The Revenant, right?
I have, yeah. He has that fight with that bear.
Yeah, and it
full-on
just
Leonardo.
tears them apart. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I would never want to. And I've seen a lot of videos on social media of people, whether hiking or they're on bicycles in the woods and they come across bears. That would be a terror.
So yours is a bear.
Yeah.
Okay, Amo?
Mice. I'm afraid of mice. Oh,
Mice.
yeah.
Because they move so quickly.
They
You don't know
move so
what's going on
quickly.
there.
They so, I don't know how to explain it, but nothing can make me not be scared of them. Do you
Yeah.
understand? Because even if it's a small little, I don't want to be in that room. If there's mice in my house, I'm not going to that home. I'll come back when it's like out of the house. Yeah.
You see, yours is different from Mateo because Mateo, I can't like put him into a room with a bear. That's not going to work. But maybe if we put you in a room holding a mouse, would that cure it?
No.
Okay, maybe not. All right, mine's been buried alive. I would hate that, waking up and you buried alive. I can think of nothing worse. That claustrophobia, shocking. Couldn't take it. So, yeah, there we go. Now we all know. All right, 072-702-1702. What is your biggest fear? There's a reason why we are asking that this morning. I'd like to hear from you. Maybe something's happened to you and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I better tell them that story. Well, 072-702-1702. So, also as well, lots of things coming up this morning. Something else we need to talk about, and this is the more serious side of things. Our president. Now, there's an interesting story in the Citizen newspaper this morning. It also follows some posts on social media that caught my eye. And you know, Mateo, you see things on social media and you go, fake news, fake news, fake news. And there have been these reports that the president wants to throw in the towel early. He wants to leave early. And I kept thinking, yeah, all right. And then he'll leave by Friday. And you go, no, he won't. And it goes on and goes on. So you ignore them. Well, the front page, let me show you there, Mateo, the front page of the Citizen this morning, they're talking about that exact story. He wants to throw in the towel. That's what they're saying. He wants to leave early. So it's not confirmed. The presidency has said nothing, but now it's in the Citizen. So my thoughts to you this morning, now whether this is confirmed or not, it's still worrying from the point of view of who in the ANC would be a possible successor. If he does leave, would it mark the end of an era for the ANC, or could it, I think, perhaps change, maybe give a chance for a new breath of life for the party with a younger leader? Perhaps we could see somebody else come along. But what is your take on the story? If he were to go, where would it leave the ANC in your eyes? I'd like to know from you, where would it leave the ANC? What would you think of the ANC if Cyril Ramaphosa had to go? And do you think it's time for a younger leader? Do you think it's time for change? 072-702-1702.
Good morning, Ray. Listen, I don't think we should be talking about who should replace Cyril Ramaphosa. I think we should be talking about who should replace the ANC. There is no leader within that ranks that is suitable enough to lead us. They are incapable of leading this country except taking it down the drain. It's Maureen in Kempton Park.
Thank you, Maureen. You see, that's the other thing as well. We got municipal elections coming up in 2 or 3 years later. We've got our national elections. If that does happen, where does this leave the ANC? I mean, they lost a massive amount of support in the last election. Do they go down to 20%? Does the DA go to 25%? Does the MK party go up to, 25%? These are the big questions. But I'd like to hear from you this morning. Where does this actually, for you, 702 land, where does this leave the ANC?
702.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
Right, that's what I'm asking this morning. Mateo, what are you asking this morning?
I want to know from you, Ray, and the rest of the 702 landers, have you ever had to scale down or cut back spending in your own life in order to figure out your finances? So whether you're getting a smaller place, moving out of like a really, really big house and moving into a smaller place, or whether you are downgrading your car, cutting back on major spending that you used to do, maybe on things like entertainment, just so you could rebalance your finances?
You see, that's such a beautiful question, because my question to you is a car important? Because at one point I scaled down. I decided I didn't want to pay for an expensive car. So I sold what I had, I got rid of it, and I bought myself what I called the Skodonk. That's what I called it. I scaled down totally. I paid off that car, and for 5 years I didn't have a car payment. The car I bought, I'm not going to name it, it wasn't very pretty or nice to look at. And you'd pitch up at one of these media engagements and you go junk, 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 and you would arrive and everyone would like stare at you. But they would laugh at you, but I had no car payments.
You had peace of mind.
I had peace of mind.
Amo?
Yeah, many a times here, especially for small little things like buying on Shein. For instance, the whole of this year, I haven't bought anything. I have stopped because I have to look at other things, bigger things to manage. And so it helps.
Yeah, I've also cut back. Like, I remember one year I moved back home, moved out of my place, cut down on that amount of rent that I was paying at the time. I completely started over. But that kind of helps because you get to breathe again, because there's nothing worse than financial pressure. But I'll tell you why I'm asking that question.
And also as well, has that happened to you? 072 702 1702.
702.
Weather.
This EWN weather is brought to you by Samsung Summer Heatwave. Choose your perfect temperature with Samsung air conditioners. Looking at your weather today, a partly cloudy day in South Gauteng, but that rain still in the area. We should have some rain later on today. Johannesburg starting at 10, going up to 25 degrees. Pretoria 13 and 27. Vereniging 16 and 26. Then Cape Town will be partly cloudy along with a fresh southeasterly breeze, a low of 19. Happy to say your high is 28 today. Yesterday was 37. High of 28 for the mother city. Burhan, 28. East London, 30. And then Durban, your high, 28 degrees.
Just the season we've been waiting for. It's summer and the heat is on. It's time to make memories. The days are longer and the nights are warm. Skies are clear and the vibes are perfect. Make your home the coolest place to be this summer with Samsung air conditioners. Experience ultimate refreshment with your friends and family. Make every day a cooler, smarter summer. Shop at Samsung stores, online, or speak to your authorized installer.
Morning. This is for Amul. Amul on the N3 South, just before London, Vincent Chabalala. At that roadworks section, there's a broken down truck, and that is causing an issue as well. So on that section at the roadworks, there's a broken down truck as well. So that will cause a bit of a mess later on.
EWN Traffic.
And this EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on your car insurance if you don't ask them for 500 Rand. And Amo, I love the advice 702 Landers give us.
Yeah, remember, you are our eyes and ears, and that incident is still there along the N3 South near Vincent Chabalala Road. Do you expect heavy traffic volumes coming out of the Baklu interchange? On top of this delay, the truck that is broken down along this route, also expect roadworks to also hold you up on traffic. And if you're traveling in the northerly direction, more delays approaching the Baklu turnoff, queuing traffic out of Marlborough Drive. And then traveling on the Mark 1 North, we've got peak time delays on the route between Boyson's Road and Carr Street. There's also queuing traffic on the N12 West as well as the R24 West between Edenville Road and the Giluli's interchange. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a family driving to their new home, carrying boxes stacked with plates and toys and memories. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a new beginning, a fresh start on the move. Every story's different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Morning, Ray and team. My biggest fear is England winning the World Cup next year in America. They've been going on about they're winning 66 for 60 years now, still telling everybody they're the best in the world and always will be. So that's my biggest fear, just to imagine it. Oh my goodness, no.
Ray, me and rodents, the size doesn't matter. It could be a baby, it could be. But listen here, Ray, the sight of it, be it on TV, in a book, or a billboard, or wherever, I just get literally sick, as in literally sick. And my dear, I run for dear life. Yeah, that is my biggest fear. No, come with a python. Yadlala. Thank you, Ray.
You know, this is the thing. It is, because those little rodents, those little squirrels, or those little, I don't know, mice, they move so quickly and their little tails go and you don't know where they are. And then, yeah, I love your Scots accent. Yeah, England winning the World Cup. But they'll never win the World Cup. They won it once. Let's just leave it alone right there.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Things you need to know about this morning. Now, the Commission of Inquiry into the Truth and Reconciliation cases is set to hear arguments today on whether evidence leader Ishmael Semenya should be recused. Proceedings which aim to uncover whether efforts were made to obstruct investigations and the prosecutions of apartheid-era crimes were halted after the MPA and the Justice Department called for Semenya's removal. They cited a conflict of interest linked to his past association with the MPA. The man referred to as John Wick by controversial businessman Burhan Mokhotsi, a name repeatedly mentioned in both the ad hoc committee and the Madlanka Commission of Inquiry, was scheduled to testify today. However, his lawyer requested a postponement yesterday to allow more time for consultation. Meanwhile, though, the ad hoc committee has relocated its hearings to the Kgosi Mampuru prison, where Vusamusi Katmatlale is currently detained. Now, he's saying that he's traumatized. CMAX has been too much for him. He's not ready to talk. And, you know, this is the thing. What do you think's going to happen when you go to CMAX? And he's been accused of Stalingrad tactics, and that's been delaying things. Well, the ad hoc committee chair, Soviet Lekhanyane, says Katmatlala will take the stand today. He will do it at about 11 o'clock after his legal team asked that the hearing begin at 11 a.m. to allow more time to prepare.
That is basically why today you saw us with Lieutenant General Dimpane. It's out of those arrangements between us and Mr. Matlala and his legal team. When we first wrote to him, he responded within a wink of an eye. We have never seen such responses. We wrote to him and said, we want you to appear before the committee. He said, I'm very, very willing. And so, as it stands now, we are here this week to feature Mr. Matala in our proceedings, together with his representative. They are available. The announcement we made here is that they have requested that we start at 11 o'clock tomorrow, which is something not unusual. We have always been starting our proceedings at 11 o'clock because we finish very late.
And we've been asking you this morning, what is your biggest fear? And let me tell you why we are asking that. I'm not dead. It's a shocking twist unfolding at a Thai temple when a woman brought in for cremation was discovered alive inside her coffin. The 65-year-old had been taken to the Wat Rat Prakong Tham. It's a Buddhist temple on the outskirts of Bangkok after she appeared to have stopped breathing 2 days earlier. All of a sudden, she knocked on the coffin saying, I'm not dead. More with Adam a little bit later on. And then straight to prison, Brazil's Supreme Court has ordered former right-wing President Jair Bolsonaro to begin serving a 27-year, 3-month sentence for orchestrating a coup after losing the last election. The 70-year-old was found guilty of conspiring to cling to power following his 2022 defeat. And Tina Turner, the electrifying queen of rock and roll, would have celebrated her 86th birthday today. Born in 1939, she blasted her way into music history with a voice that could shake the walls and a presence that commanded every stage she touched. Now, take a listen to Tina That's back in 1984 in a CBS News interview where she reflects on how hard it was to break into rock and roll as a black woman, a reminder of the barriers she shattered. Turner, the electrifying queen of rock and roll, would have turned 86 years old today.
But I had to prove it over the years. You know, this is the part coming in of like being a woman and being black. I've been rock and roll all my life. I have stood with the rock and roll guys, and still they say, the radio programmer said, no, we cannot program her. She's R&B.
Because she's black.
Because I'm black. You have to go crossover R&B before you can make rock and roll. But I reversed it on them. My audience, the people, proclaimed me rock and roll, and so it was just forced. So it didn't matter what the radio stations were saying or were playing. It was selling pop. Everyone was buying it. It was just gone. That is how my claim to fame was, through my audience, through my work, through my persistence, because I am. I have never even felt the urge to do, say, pop or jazz, or I'm just a wild person. You know, it's controllably wild, my attitude about it, but that is my soul.
Oh, that voice. We miss that voice. The late Tina Turner would have been 86 years old today.
7:02.
The newspapers.
Safiso Zulu, what are you scared of?
Oh, a lot of things. I'm actually scared of the thunder.
Are you really?
And my other fear is I'm scared of balloons. I've
Balloons
got a phobia
popping?
for
Really?
balloons. It's the weirdest thing. Nobody understands it, but balloons scare me.
So you don't
Ever
like
since I was a
sounds?
kid. The sound, I don't know. There's just something about balloons that I don't want to be near them. When they pop, they just freak me out.
Okay, you shouldn't have told us that. All right. But we will leave you alone. Back to the newspapers. The Citizen today, I've been talking about the story, why the ANC can't boot Cyril, and there's panic gripping the political elite in the ANC after the president expressed his desire to throw in the towel early. It's a very interesting story, Safiso.
Yeah, that's right, Ray. And then there's another story here on the international front about German prosecutors who are investigating a 100-year-old man on suspicion that he served as a Nazi camp guard and took part in executions in the final years of World War II. And authorities in the western city of Dortmund allege that the crimes took place between December 1943 and September 1944. And the man is said to have served as a prisoner of war at the camp in Hammer in Western Germany, which held at least 100,000 inmates, mostly from the Soviet Union, and thousands died at that camp.
The Sowetan newspaper this morning, victims 15-hour fight in floodwaters, it says here, thrown into a raging stream by a taxi driver who robbed and then tried to rape her. This woman clings to her life in the icy river until a teenage boy heard her desperate screams. It's quite a story.
Yeah,
That's
quite
the
a story.
Sowetan. What else do you have this morning?
And on ewn.co.za, quite an interesting story as well about how there's been an increase in tourist visits in South Africa. And the latest data from Statistics South Africa shows that more than 8 million tourists traveled to the country in the last 10 months.
In the business day this morning, mighty Pepkor takes on the banks. The retailer has unveiled its unrivaled network of 30 million clients. They want to go into the banking sector. So I think that's very interesting because you saw what happened with Capitec, and these guys have got more clients on their database. Safiso, those are the
newspapers.
EWN Business.
Right, Mateo, you are asking, have you ever had to scale down or cut back spending in your life in order to start over or figure out your finances? And how did it help you? I think that's the big question. Why are you asking?
Well, Ray, retailer Edgar's is downscaling its store sizes to get the firm to profitability. The company has cut more than 100,000 square meters from its national footprint in a bid to restore better earnings. Now, according to The Citizen, Chief Executive Norman Drisselman says the downscaling is a part of reshaping the retailer after years of inherited structural problems. In a shift towards sustainable profitability, Edgars has reduced retail space from about 465,000 square meters to about 360,000 to help it save more than 150 million rand annually on rent. At flagship malls, it's halved floor space produced a 5% sales drop, but a 6 million rand profit improvement thanks to lower operating costs. Now, when the retail firm Retailability acquired Edgars in 2020, the chain had around 131 stores. This number has been reduced approximately to 105 stores today. The remaining stores are being converted from large multi-level department store formats to more smaller single-floor operations. On average, stores will be reduced to 2/3 of their former size. It's not all bad though at Edgars, which commands around 28% share of the total beauty market and a dominant 43% of the premium beauty segment. It's expanding its footprint there into new and emerging markets, including the launch of Raban and a rapidly growing K-beauty market, which will see launches rolled out across flagship stores this year and into 2026. So there's a plan to bring Edgars back to its former glory by going smaller and smaller.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. If you walk in there, they have got different stores inside. They really have changed their business model. How's the rand looking?
Well, the rand at this hour still at 17 rand 17 cents, far stronger than the dollar this morning at 19 rand 90 against the euro, also good there. And you'll need 22 rand 65 cents to get a British pound. Price of gold at $4,161 an ounce. It's up this morning with platinum at $1,556. Brent crude at $62.03 a barrel. More business after 7.
Thank you, Mateo. Just gone 6:31 now. Sofiso, you got that story about the TRC.
That's right, Ray. Good morning. The Commission of Inquiry into Truth and Reconciliation cases will resume this morning to hear arguments over a dispute. The commission kicked off earlier this month but did not hear any oral arguments. This was due to parties in the inquiry planning to bring a recusal application against Chief Evidence Leader Advocate Ishmael Semenya. Khomozo Modise reports.
Advocate Ishmael Semenya was part of the council who worked on the NPA policy of 2005, which was developed to address apartheid-era crimes but was ruled to be unlawful by the Pretoria High Court. It's on this basis that the families of apartheid victims and lawyers for the NPA and Justice Department believe that he should recuse himself from the matter. This morning, the commission, led by retired Justice Sisi Kampepe, will hear arguments on this recusal application. Thereafter, the commission will make an order which will inform the way forward. Khomozo Modise, Eyewitness News.
Convicted murderer Najwa Peterson is expected to appear before the Correctional Supervision and Parole Board today. She's up for parole consideration after serving 19 of her 28-year sentence for plotting to kill her husband, Talib Peterson. The music and theatre icon was shot dead at his Athlone home in the Western Cape in 2006. Earlier this month, the community there met to discuss her upcoming parole hearing. Ntutuzelo Nene reports.
The community of Athlone is divided on the possible release of Najwa Peterson on parole. Some believe she deserves a second chance, while others feel she's shown no remorse and should stay behind bars. Speaking to EWN at the meeting earlier this month, Athlone CPF chairperson Vernon Pete called for healing between Najwa and Talib's families, as well as the community.
What I've picked up, there's quite a few percentage of people that would love to see Najwa on the outside. However, healing needs to take place, not only just with Najwa, but with the extended family.
Ndutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News.
The Western Cape High Court has postponed the case of the alleged illegal arms dealer Anderson Padiachi after he failed to pay his legal team. Padiachi is accused of supplying firearms to a Cape Town gang between 2017 and 2019. He faces 66 charges, including murder, attempted murder, and contravening the Firearms Control and Prevention of Organised Crimes Act His legal representative told the court yesterday that he has not settled his legal bills. Camray Clark reports.
Anderson Parayachi's trial hit another snag yesterday after his legal team requested a postponement. Advocate Carlo Fillion told the court his client had not furnished him with any financial instructions. Judge President Daniel Tulare expressed some concern with postponing the matter, which is already running into its second year. In response, Parayachi told the court the ongoing case has placed him under financial bondage. Judge Tulare advised him that his non-payment posed serious implications to his counsel's practice. In order to secure legal representation by the 3rd of December, Parayachi must either raise the money to continue paying his current legal team or apply for legal aid. He will be back in court next Friday when the trial resumes. Camray Clark, Eyewitness News.
And Brazil's Supreme Court has ordered former President Jair Bolsonaro to begin serving a 27-year sentence for plotting a failed coup after he exhausted all appeals. Bolsonaro is being jailed in a small room at police headquarters equipped with a TV, mini fridge and air conditioning. The 70-year-old was convicted in September over a scheme to stop Lula da Silva from taking office as president after the 2022 elections that included a plot to kill the veteran leftist. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers expected. The temperatures are at lows of 13 and 16 degrees, peaking at highs between 25 and 27 degrees.
And in the traffic, we still have got that truck along the N3 South in the Limbo Park area. It's broken down along the left lane. It's causing delays coming out of the Baklu interchange, about a 15-minute hold up there. If you're heading towards Alexandra, please use the M1 South if you're leaving areas like Midrand as well as Woodmead. If you were traveling on the Mike 1 North, delays between Boysons Road and Carr Street, peak time pressure here.
The top story this hour, the Commission of Inquiry into Truth and Reconciliation cases will resume this morning.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
You could spend 10 minutes on social media or get a 10-minute quote from Outsurance that could save you thousands on your car insurance. For his 2024 GWMP series, 54-year-old Amos now pays only 1,004 Rand a month. And for his 2024 Toyota Urban Cruiser, 55-year-old Andre pays just 776 Rand a month. Ready to get more out of your car insurance? SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Nothing beats the summer holidays, lazy pool days, ocean waves, festivals, food and family fun. That special time is almost here, and with Fly Safair's affordable, flexible fares, you can zoom off to SA's hottest spots. Sunshine guaranteed, worries not included. For big holiday savings, use our low fare finder to hunt down the best flight prices in just seconds. Don't be a bummer. Fly into summer. Book now at flysafair.co.za. Fly Safair, for the love of flying.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Right, coming up in your program this morning, there's lots to talk about, and we have our Africa report shortly looking at what's happening in Sudan. Now, Sudan's war has taken another dramatic turn this week, with the army chief rejecting the latest US-backed truce proposal. Why this is so important is because 1 million people are in limbo there, so we'll be finding out more about that one. And then a little bit later on, asking, is Johannesburg becoming ungovernable? This is our main interview, a big interview at 7:15. This follows reports that in recent months, councillors have received death threats, with some being shot at, some being intimidated. And reports also say that council meetings have been collapsing under factional battles, legal threats, power plays that feel more like a war zone than a chamber of commerce. My question is, are councillors simply unable to carry out their duties? So I'll be talking to a councillor. She left after saying it had all become way too much. In fact, she was scared. She was worried about her own security. So a little bit later on, I'll be chatting to the councillor, former councillor Lucinda Harmon. She stepped down saying she's quite worried about this. So lots coming up on your breakfast show this morning. Just a very concerning story about that being the city of Johannesburg, because while people are fighting, while there are construction mafias, you and I don't get the services that we need. So that's quite an important one as well. And then another big story we're looking at today, and I mentioned earlier Vusimusi Katmatlala saying that he doesn't want to speak to the Parliamentary Committee this morning at the Kgosi Mampuru prison. He doesn't want to because he's a bit traumatized by CMAX. Well, that's tough luck. Another person who's in deep water at the moment is Scopa Chair Songezo Zibi, saying former RAF CEO Colin Sletswalo must now show up in Parliament today. He's also saying he doesn't think he needs to go. He wasn't bothered in going yesterday. It just seems to be this general consensus about people saying we don't need to respect Parliament. Anyway, Scopa's chair, Songezo Zibi, this is what he had to say.
Recall that the committee had resolved to issue summons to him after he had indicated that the committee does not have the legitimacy to oversee the road accident fund in the manner in which it is doing, and that he would rather prefer to go to the portfolio committee on transport. We took the view that the work that we are doing is within the rules of Parliament, and the Speaker concurred. We issued the summons to him. This is what subsequently happened. The first is that the first address, the sheriff could not find Mr. Lutswalo. We were given a second address by the Road Accident Fund, at which numerous attempts were made to serve the summons to him, including leaving a copy of the summons at the entrance of his property. There is also a letter that is circulating on WhatsApp groups and so on. Parliament has not yet received that letter. Parliament's legal team has nonetheless reached out to Mr. Lutswalo's attorneys, as at least stated in that letter, to say that we have not yet received the letter. Could they please send it? As we sit here, we still have not received such a letter. The committee has then resolved that if he does not present himself today and does not present himself tomorrow, then we will take next steps, which may include referring for criminal investigation and prosecution in terms of the Powers and Privileges Act, specifically for ignoring or defying a summons from Parliament.
Well, that's exactly it. We have a process, we have something called Parliament in our country. If you do think that you don't need to pitch up for Parliament, if you do think that you don't need to appear before Parliament because you're too traumatized by what's happening in CMAX, well, I've got something coming for you. It's the structure of our country, it's the laws of the land, and I don't think either of those two individuals are going to have a good day today.
EWN Sport.
Now, Cindy, I was very skeptical. I was very, very skeptical with the cricket.
Okay.
Because when they declared, I thought a little bit too late. I thought, will they get these guys out in time? And I'm gratefully eating my own words.
Okay.
I'm sitting here going, Ray, you were wrong, thank goodness.
So I also thought, are we able to take, because are we going to be able to take 10 wickets in the next, kind of towards the end of the day and then a full day? And I should have backed myself a bit better, because at stumps yesterday, India were 27 for 2. So South Africa came back today just needing 8 wickets. Then this morning, on the first ball of the day, Verena missed an easy catch behind wicket. Marco Jansen took a wicket, but it was a no ball. There was a dropped catch at slips. It was... and then I just turned to my colleague Mawanda Mateza, and I just said to him, I think this is, what if we draw? What if they draw?
Yeah.
But it's turned. It's completely turned, because Simon Harmer took 2 wickets in over at about 6 o'clock this morning. And then he's just taken one now. So India are currently 60 for 5. And South Africa only need 5 more wickets to win, right? Because India are chasing 549. So can we do 5? Can we get 5 wickets before about 1-2 o'clock this afternoon? Can India bat the day out and save themselves a humiliating whitewash series defeat? It will be the first time South Africa's won a Test series in India in 25 years.
25 years.
So the year 2000 was the last time, right?
Wow.
When we were all preparing for Y2K.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, back on the couch again today.
Right, back on the couch. Hopefully not. Hopefully by 9 o'clock, by the time we wrap up the show, it's all over and we're celebrating. But the draw, there was a group draw done yesterday for the T20 World Cup. That's
Starts in February. Proteas getting quite an easy group there. Their first games against Canada on the 9th of Feb, followed by Afghanistan, New Zealand and UAE. In the domestic T20 Challenge, Burhan beating Warriors by 5 runs to book their place in the final. Tonight, Dolphins take on Province for that place in the second qualifier. Orlando Pirates left late the second half to beat Chippa 2-0. Mahopa scored on the 74th and then Apollos with the second goal 4 minutes into stoppage time. It's Pirates' fourth win in 5 games to move them level with Sundowns on the table, and Pirates have a game in hand. Coach Abdeslam Wadu.
We had numbers in the box. It's what we had worked this week. So we are very happy. We knew that these kind of games are going to be so difficult. But at least we scored 2 goals with a clean sheet. I want to congratulate the boys again. And we keep going to focus for the next game.
Tonight, Orbit College hosts Stellenbosch. In the Champions League, Chelsea beat a 10-man Barcelona 3-0, including a superb goal from 18-year-old Estevao. Benfica beat Ajax 2-0, their first win under Mourinho. Juventus scored on stoppage time for a 3-2 win over Bodo Glimt. Manchester City lost to Leverkusen 2-0. Marseille beating Newcastle 2-1. There was 2 goals from Aubameyang there. Dortmund thrashed Villarreal 4-0. World Rugby Men's 15's Dream Team of the Year has 6 Springboks. Player of the Year Malcolm Marks alongside Oxen Chair, Thomas du Toit, Peter Steph du Toit. In the back row, fly half Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu and Cheslin Colby. The Boks take on Wales this Saturday. Here's what Morne van den Berg expects.
Tough men, competitive, not afraid of anything, willing to fight to chase lost causes. So yeah, experience in the URC has really been guys that willing to fight for each other. I think similar because it's mostly URC players, so they come together or get together and really say they're going to put up a massive fight and play for each other this weekend.
Kickoff on Saturday is 5:10. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Part of the 702 family.
My name is Iwet Machinya Tsimbi. I'm from Deep Blue Phase 3. I've listened to 702 since 1980, when it was still Channel 702, when it was still a music radio station. Till today, I still listen to this station. I get the information from this station. I get empowered. I get to be informative. Thank you, 702, and keep on rocking.
Welcome to our 702 family. Let's walk the talk.
After more than 50 sold-out shows, the Universe on Stage duo is back with their new show called the Black Hole Symphony, performed live with the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra and conducted by Daniel Boyko. This breathtaking, one-of-a-kind exploration of music, science, and cinematic visuals is a rather symphonic journey through one of nature's greatest enigmas, the black hole. It takes place for 3 performances only from 27 to 29 November at the Witz-Linde Auditorium. Tickets available on Web Tickets.
You're up at 4 a.m. trying to find the cheapest building materials, but the Zaminis just shop online with Cash Build whenever. You then pay for expensive delivery or pay Tapo to fetch you with his van. But the Zaminis inquired about free local delivery. So abantu bazotini, when you are still bargain hunting, but the Zaminis are already putting up festive decorations. Be like the Zaminis. Make smarter decisions for your home and shop online with Cash Build for quality building materials at the lowest prices. Cash Build.
James, congrats on the babies.
Yeah, thanks. It's a wild ride.
You're a new dad, 2 babies, 0 sleep, and 1 car that apparently couldn't cope.
Yeah, the hatchback was my baby, but it just didn't have enough space for my 2 new babies.
And are you happy with the price when you sold to We Buy Cars?
Very. We've even got some extra cash to splurge on one of those fancy prams that you basically need a license for.
Good luck, James. We Buy Cars. Geared for family, geared for you.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Good day, 702. My name is Quinton. I am 12 years old. I go to Edlin Primary School, and when I grow up, I'd love to be a football player. I'd really love to play the 702 Whiz Quiz with Uncle Ray because his questions are very intriguing. Thank you.
Quinton, I'm looking forward to playing with you as well. Listen, Bafana, they need you. They need you. So let's see what you can do. But first, we need you to win the Whiz Quiz.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
12 minutes to 7 o'clock. This EWN Traffic is brought to you by South African Airways. Airways, SAA now operates 2 flights a day to Gaborone with morning and afternoon departures. So book now at flysaa.com. N3 South, those delays are back. Come on.
Yes, Ray, this is due to that truck that's broken down in the left lane right near Vincent Chabalala Road. Delays coming out of the Baklu interchange. And if you're traveling on the northerly direction of this route, also do expect traffic pressure from Vincent Chabalala Road to the Baklu turnoff. And this is due to the roadworks that are taking place along the route. And then traveling on the N3 North, we've got some delays towards the Geldenhuys interchange. Peak time delays there, while in Boksburg, queuing traffic along the N17 West approaching Rondebolt Road. That's due to roadworks there. Please be on the lookout and drive with care. I'll have more updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Experience Johannesburg to Gaborone with South African Airways, where comfort meets convenience. Enjoy premium service, flexible morning and afternoon departures, and the warm hospitality SAA is known for. For a limited time, return fares start from just 2,762 Rand, all inclusive. Book by 4 December at flysaa.com. South African Airways, bringing you closer. T's and C's apply.
Whether it is a CCMA referral, problems with a mechanic, unfair blacklisting, or an uncontested divorce, Clientele Legal offers professional legal services to all South Africans. Our plans are affordable, and you receive up to 745,000 Rand worth of legal services per year. We cover civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Our nationwide legal teams are standing by to support you 24 hours a day. Plus, all plans include a 5,000 Rand bail benefit. Join today. SMS LEGAL to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Black Friday weekend is now on at Checkers. Save up to 50% on deals like Championship Boerewors for 99 Rand per kilo. Parmalat Gouda or cheddar cheese 850 grams. Any for 99 Rand. Save 51 Rand. And Pampers Premium disposable nappies or pants for 189 Rand. Save 141 Rand. Deals valid until Sunday, 30 November 2025. Only at Checkers and Checkers Hyper. In-store only.
Right, coming up in the next hour, it's What's the Question, brought to you by Outsurance. Up for grabs 3,000 Rands in cash. All you need to do is send us an answer based on anything that piqued your interest in the show, and you could win 1,000 Rand. Simply WhatsApp your name and that answer to 072 702 1702. And of course, a little bit later, someone else will ask the question to win 2,000 Rand. Remember, you stand a better chance of being selected to give us today's answer if you have SMS out to Outsurance and got yourself a quote. So SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Time to play the Whiz Quiz. Good morning, Quinton.
Morning.
Good. Now listen, you want to play soccer one day. Do you want to play for Bafana Bafana? Do you want to go overseas? What do you want to do?
I really love to play for Liverpool.
Liverpool. They need a bit of help at the moment, so they're waiting for you, okay? They're waiting for you, Quinton. Excellent. All right, let's play the Whiz Quiz. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. For every one you get right, you get 100 Rand. But if you get 10 out of 10 in 60 seconds, 10,000 Rand, you come over here and we just look after you for a day. How does that sound?
Really nice.
Excellent. Are you ready?
Yes.
Good. All right, KG, start the clock. True or false, acrophobia is a fear of heights?
True.
Correct. In maths, what is half of 1,000?
500.
Correct. Complete the saying from Toy Story to infinity and what?
And Buzz.
Incorrect. Beyond. What is South Africa's biggest desert called? Is it the Kalahari Desert or the Sahara Desert?
Kalahari Desert.
Correct. How many years are there in a century?
100.
Correct. Which shape has 8 sides, a pentagon or an octagon?
Octagon.
Correct. In which country will you find the largest ancient pyramids?
Egypt.
Correct. True or false? Nitrates are compounds containing the element nitrogen.
False.
It's true. Spell the word Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Correct. And what is a group of lions called? Oh. Yeah, we just can't get in there. We just can't get... It's a pride. It's a pride. All right, guys. Fingers, please. Fingers, please. 700 Rand. You were doing so well. I actually thought you were going to get 10 out of 10. You stumbled a bit on Toy Story. Buzz Lightyear. You're right. He was the guy, but it's to infinity and beyond. That was that one. Anyway, you got yourself 700 Rand. That's not too bad. Is that mom in the background? She seems to be excited.
Yes.
Lovely, Quinton. Have a great day at school today, okay?
Yes, you too.
Thanks, eh? Bye. There we go. Quinton winning himself 700 Rand.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
702.
The Africa Report.
So, in our Africa report today, looking at what's happening in Sudan. Now, Sudan's war has taken another dramatic turn this week with the army chief there, that's Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, rejecting the latest US-backed Quad truce proposal. He's called it the worst yet, accusing the UAE of quietly backing the opposition RSF. Now, it's a move that exposes just how deep the mistrust now runs between Sudan's warring sides and the very mediators trying to bring them to the table. The problem is millions remain caught in the middle of this conflict. Joining us is Kenneth Khwadi, a research fellow at the Middle East Africa Research Institute. Kenneth, hi, good to have you on 702.
Good morning, Ray, and morning to the listeners of 702. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you with us. Just try to help us understand this. Now, both the Army and the RSF insist they can still win on the battlefield. Is there any end in sight to this conflict? Because it sounds like they just are not interested in a truce or a ceasefire.
No, that is true. And when you look at it, both sides, they don't have the military prowess to dominate each other. So each of them, the RSF as well as the Sudanese armed forces, they are controlling parts of Sudan, or the Republic of Sudan as it is known.
Yeah.
And there's no one who's dominating over the other. We know that in October, the RSF has taken over one of the most critical and historically important part of the region of Darfur, El Fasher, which used to belong to the Sudanese armed forces, and they are now in control of it. And now you have got 12 million people who have been displaced internally and externally outside of Sudan. And Sudan has never known peace since 1950s when the UK left. There has always been violence or conflict. There's a structural violence that exists in Sudan. In 2011, many people still remember that it was partitioned into the other part known now as South Sudan. And it is not, South Sudan is not as stable as people could also think. We know that in 2-3 days ago, Salva Kiir, the president, has fired his deputy. And now you have got the Republic of Sudan, where there's never been peace. The situation became worse in April in 2023. When RSF and Sudanese
it just hasn't got better. It just hasn't. So what happens next? I mean, will there be more negotiations? I mean, this is massive pushback. He calls it the worst yet. I mean, what happens next?
Yes, what we are hearing from the Sudanese armed forces is that they don't really trust the presence of UAE, United Arab Emirates, into the negotiations. So they could have trusted other parties, your US, your Saudi Arabia and Egypt. They don't have problem with them. They only have problem with United Arab Emirates because they think it has got their vested interest. And that is the view also in the ground in Sudan, because most Sudanese believe that the UAE have got a vested interest to expand its economic and political capital. So that is how they are seeing that country. So it is not going to be possible in the presence of the UAE. So the UAE will have to take a step back and
sure. Okay,
allow the US to
We're starting to lose you a little bit, but you'll also have to leave it there. I think it's a discussion that we need to have a long chat about. Kenneth Khwadi is a research fellow at the Middle East Africa Research Institute. Thank you so much for coming on to 702.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic brought to you by South African Airways. SAA now operates 2 flights a day to Gaborone with morning and afternoon departures. Book now at flysaa.com. Amo?
Well, Ray, I guess the N3 South as well as the N3 North in the Lindbro Park as well as Calvin areas is a no-go area this morning due to that truck that is stuck along the N3 South near Vincent Chabalala Road. Delays coming out of the Baku interchange. I'll have more details coming up shortly. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Experience Johannesburg to Gaborone with South African Airways, where comfort meets convenience. Enjoy premium service, flexible morning and afternoon departures, and the warm hospitality SAA is known for. For a limited time, return fares start from just 2,762 Rand, all inclusive. Book by 4 December at flysaa.com. South African Airways bringing you closer. T's and C's apply.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
It's a very big interview this morning asking, is Johannesburg becoming ungovernable? This follows reports that in recent months, councillors have received death threats, with some being shot at and intimidated. I'll be chatting to a councillor who wants to tell us more about what's going on in the background, and she's resigned, saying basically she can't do this anymore. I'll be speaking to former councillor Lucinda Harmon, who stepped down just a couple of weeks ago. It's just gone 7 o'clock. This Eyewitness News brought to you by Bathroom Bazaar, pulling the plug on high prices.
This is EWN.
A judge and a church leader have been arrested for alleged corruption, and MPs insist Vusmuzi Matlala will testify in prison after attempting to delay his appearance. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. A judge and the leader of a well-known church have been arrested by the Hawks on charges of corruption and money laundering. They were taken into custody along with 2 other people last night. The Hawks say the case stems from attempts to influence a civil case that's currently before the High Court in Pretoria. The matter relates to a long-standing succession battle in the church, and the Hawks say the judge allegedly received a bribe to deliver a favorable outcome in the case. Residents of New Hanover in KwaZulu-Natal have been warned to brace for more heavy downpours while the area grapples with floods that have swept away 2 people. This is expected to slow down search operations that have been ongoing since Sunday. Emergency services teams recovered the body of a woman in a river on Monday. Hundreds of people have been displaced after their homes were damaged. Nhlanhla Mabaso reports from KZN.
While disaster management teams continue to comb through the Njasuti River, hoping to find the bodies of the 2 people who went missing during the massive flooding on Sunday, residents are warned of another rainfall. Authorities say more rain is expected in the coming days, urging residents to stay vigilant. KZN spokesperson for Transport and Human Settlements, Ndabezinhle Sibiya, says their teams are on standby to respond in case of disasters.
We are, responding to the latest warning from the SA Weather Services. We are appealing to, communities to be on full alert. Our roving team from Human Settlements is working with, the team that has been deployed to the province by the National Minister, Tembisi Melane.
Sibiya says a number of officers from the Road Traffic Inspectorate have been activated to keep watch on roads in parts of the province. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, Durban.
The chairperson of Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption insists that suspected criminal Vusmuzi Matlala will appear before the committee despite his legal threats to interdict his much-anticipated hearing. Sovetli Khanyane says Matlala will appear today, tomorrow and possibly on Friday. He is expected to answer allegations about influencing police operational decisions around the political killings task team and also paid millions to politicians like suspended Minister Senzo Mchunu and former Minister Bheki Cele in return for political favors. Matala will also face a grilling from members of the committee on his 360 million rand dodgy police tender, which was cancelled because it didn't meet requirements. Matlala's hearing will take place at the Kgosi Mampuru Correctional Facility in Pretoria, where he's jailed. Babalo Ndenze reports.
Whether Vusumuzi Ket Matlala would appear before the committee over the next 2 days came into question yesterday after his lawyers wrote to the evidence leader and chairperson, Soviet Lekhanyane, asking for more time to prepare. Matlala's lawyers say their client is not prepared for the appearance and requested additional time before giving evidence to the ad hoc committee, which travelled all the way from Cape Town to hear his evidence at the Pretoria prison. Matlala is currently behind bars awaiting trial for attempted murder. Lekhanyane told the media last night, after SEP's CFO Puleng Dimpane's appearance, that it's all systems go for Matlala's appearance, which was planned weeks ago.
Mr. Matlala is available to meet with us tomorrow, Thursday, and probably Friday if we will not be done by Thursday. So it's all systems go.
Lekhanyane would not be drawn into the legal threat by Matlala, referring all questions to his lawyers. Babalo Ndenze, Eyewitness News.
Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts is giving former Road Accident Fund CEO Collins Litswalo one more chance to appear before it today or face consequences for defying a summons. Litswalo snubbed the committee yesterday after another lawyer's letter arguing the committee is acting outside of its powers. Most MPs have taken a dim view of Litswalo's defiance and have called for him to be criminally charged. Lindsay Dentlinga reports.
Following weeks of testimony from former and present RAF employees, Scopa wants to hear from Collins Letswalo regarding the executive appointments he's made, the switch of accounting standards and procurement matters. After being stood up yesterday, the committee once again wrote to his attorneys asking whether he will turn up today. MPs say Parliament should not tolerate its summonses being ignored. The MK Party's Talente Kubeka.
Whatever the outcome is of this back and forth that is happening with Mr. Letswalo, that we do not at the end appear as Parliament to be a toothless dog.
Action SA's Alan Beasley.
I think we're setting a very dangerous precedent if we don't take him into the full might of the criminal justice system, because as Parliament we do have an oversight responsibility.
Should Letswalo again fail to appear today, the committee will proceed to hear evidence from former board members. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And France's top appeals court will rule in a case of alleged illegal campaign financing against former President Nicolas Sarkozy. This is his last chance to escape adding a second definitive conviction to his growing criminal record. The court in Paris will rule on whether a lower court was right to convict him of illegal financing in his failed 2012 re-election campaign. If it upholds Sarkozy's conviction, he will serve a 6-month term, possibly with an electronic bracelet. Sarkozy, a one-term president from 2007 to 2012, has faced a series of legal challenges since leaving office. Gold is trading at $4,159.41 an ounce. The rand is at 17.17 to the dollar, 22.65 to the pound, 19.89 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $62.77 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North and the N3 South, both directions of this route due to several incidents along this route. So please be on the lookout if you're traveling between Vincent Chabalala Road and the Baku turn off. There's also queuing traffic reported on the N1 South. This is as you leave the Brakfontein interchange towards Olifantsfontein Road.
And in your sport, Harbour takes 3 wickets as the Proteas are now just 5 wickets away from a whitewash Test Series win over India. Orlando Pirates beat Chipper 2-0 to move level with Sundowns top of the table, but the Bucks have a game in hand. And a bad night in the Champions League for Manchester City and Newcastle, while Chelsea beat a 10-man Barcelona 3-0.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 25 and 27 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. A judge and the leader of a well-known church have been arrested by the Hawks on charges of corruption and money laundering.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
mind-blowing bathroom specials. Come to Bathroom Bazaar.
It's Black Friday week at Bathroom Bazaar. You get 15% off everything at Bathroom Bazaar and Plum Bazaar this week only. That's right, 15% off everything. Only at Bathroom Bazaar and Plum Bazaar while stocks last. Sale ends 30 November.
That's Pizarre. Come to Bathroom Bazaar. Come to Bathroom Bazaar.
Pulling the plug on high prices.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
It's almost 9 minutes past 7 o'clock. Ray in for Bongani this morning. And that story in Eyewitness News, a judge and the leader of a well-known church have been arrested by the Hawks on charges of corruption and money laundering. So that's one story. That's just the latest corruption story. We've had Collins Letswalo questions about him at the RAF, and he decided that Parliament wasn't important enough. He didn't need to go. They've told him, if you don't pitch up today, we're going to have you referred for criminal prosecution. That's him. We have Vusimusi Katmaklala, who says to Parliament, I don't really want to be there. I'm a bit traumatized by what's been going on in CMAX. And his lawyer saying the conditions aren't right here, the Wi-Fi doesn't work, and things like that. Isn't it time we got a little bit tougher with corruption? Isn't it time we got corruption courts, satellite courts, that are set up immediately? And you are then judged guilty, not guilty, and you go to prison. It's as simple as that. If you have a look at what's happening overseas, we've got Jair Bolsonaro. Now, he tried to orchestrate a coup, and he's off to prison for 27 years. We've got Nicolas Sarkozy in France, and look, he's out, but he might be wearing that ankle bracelet, but he was still convicted of exactly the same thing, corruption. Isn't it time we got a little bit stronger, a little bit more decisive in how we act and how we deal with people? Because it's getting to the point of, it's massive. And every single day we hear yet another story. A judge and the leader of a well-known church, apparently, allegedly, still going to go through the courts, she was receiving kickbacks in some of the court cases she was doing. So these are just some of the stories we've got to learn in our country. Corruption, not allowed. Corruption, there are going to be consequences if you do this. Is it not time for these corruption courts to be right out there and we deal with this? So that's my sort of little 2 cents this morning. I'd like your thoughts on that. Also talking this morning about reports that the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, indicated that he may want to throw in the towel early. And these were reports on social media that I kind of ignored. I thought, come on, it's social media. There's fake news and there's all sorts of politicking and weird stuff going on there. However, the Citizen newspaper this morning saying, yeah, it's been going on, that he might want to throw in the towel. So I'm asking you the question, where do you think this would leave the ANC, and who should take over? Sure. But where do you think this should leave the ANC? So lots to talk about this morning. 072 702 1702. In our big interview this morning, also looking at the question, is Johannesburg becoming ungovernable? I'll be chatting to a councillor, Lucinda Harman. She stepped down. She said she couldn't take it anymore. We'll be taking a look at that as well. So a serious side to 702 breakfast this morning. I'd like to hear from you. 072 702 1702.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Right, other things you do need to know about this morning. The e-hailing service Bolt is set to brief the media on its safety index reports, along with proposed measures to strengthen safety across its platform. And questions about e-hailing services, and I'm not throwing any stones at Bolt, but a lot of people saying that sometimes they just don't feel safe because, you hear stories in the news. So Bolt this morning speaking on that. Then the Commission of Inquiry into the Truth and Reconciliation cases is set to hear arguments today on whether evidence leader Ishmael Semenya should be recused. Here's a story. On this day, in 1942, Casablanca flickered onto the big screen for the very first time at New York's Hollywood Theatre, unleashing a timeless storm of romance, war, and impossible choices, starring the unforgettable duo Ingrid Bergman as the luminous Ilse Lund and then Humphrey Bogart as the brooding Rick Blaine. The film went on to claim 3 Oscars for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay as well. Looking at this as well, which is your favorite oldie movie of all time? Which is your golden oldie movie that you can watch again and again? Maybe a black and white. Amal, do you have a black and white, a golden oldie movie?
Not a black and white, but The Sound of Music is certainly my favorite oldie.
Yes.
I love that movie. I love the characters. I love the dialogue. And and the language spoken there. I mean, it's English, but it's not the English that's spoken now. So I don't know if you get me.
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of just takes you back to the evolution of language, of music, and of course dialogue.
People used to speak like this. It was very clear the way they spoke.
Absolutely.
There we go. It's one of those movies. So what's your favorite movie or old movie from the old days? Can be a black and white or something like that. We'd like to hear from you. And then on this day, in 1991, Michael Jackson dropped Dangerous, his 8th studio album. The record delivered a string of unforgettable hits, including Remember the Time, Black or White, Heal the World, and of course the electrifying track Dangerous, among others. Oh, I miss him. I miss Michael Jackson. The intensity in that voice. She's dangerous. There we go. Michael Jackson. Good gosh, good gosh. There, right there, is a blast from the past.
7:02. Up next.
The big interview.
EWN Traffic.
Exactly 16 minutes past 7 o'clock. This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save in your car insurance if you don't ask them for 500 Rand. Right, Amo in Boksburg. Look out for those roadworks.
Yes, Ray, this is on the N17 right near Roundabout Road. Please be on the lookout there. About a 15-minute hold up. While traveling on the N3 North, we've got peak time delays. This is between the Yelands interchange and the Kilulis turn off. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 South due to that truck stuck near Vincent Chabalala Road. Delays from the Bakru turn off. More updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Outsurance Pointsman can't help you find your child's school shoes, but they can help ease the traffic congestion so you can get to the school gate before it closes. With the Outsurance Pointsman on the roads for the past 20 years, we can all get where we need to be quickly and safely. Outsurance really means it when they say you always get something out. In partnership with 702, show them some love online using hashtag #PointsmanLove, a licensed insurer and FSP.
Nothing beats the summer holidays, lazy pool days, ocean waves, festivals, food and family fun. That special time is almost here, and with Fly South Air's affordable, flexible fares, you can zoom off to SA's hottest spots. Sunshine guaranteed, worries not included. For big holiday savings, use our low fare finder to hunt down the best flight prices in just seconds. Don't be a bummer. Fly into summer. Book now at flysafare.co.za. Flysafare, for the love of flying.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable. You receive up to 745,000 rand worth of legal services per year. Our range of plans include cover for you, your spouse, children, and extended family. Plans include cover for civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Whether it's protection orders, gender-based violence, uncontested divorce, or poor service, your Clientele Legal lawyer will be there to assist you. Our services are convenient. Simply pick up the phone and call your lawyer or send us an email and we'll get back to you. All plans include a bail benefit of up to 5,000 rand and we'll go to the police station and pay it for you. Plus, Clientele Legal offers you 24-hour telephonic legal advice. SMS Legal to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
As an FSCA regulated broker, Prime XBT gives you the confidence to trade market volatility your way. Enjoy low trading fees, advanced tools across crypto futures and CFDs, and VIP discounts of up to 70% available to new traders. Take advantage of free deposits and withdrawals with crypto options and local South African payment methods. Prime XBT, empowering traders to succeed. Trade responsibly. Trading comes with risk.
One of the most important gatherings in SA's local government calendar is here. The 2025 SALGA National Members Assembly. 25 to 27 November at the Durban ICC. Catch the Clement Manyatela Show live from the National Members Assembly this Wednesday as we take you inside the conversations shaping the future of our municipalities. Don't miss all the expert insights, high-level discussions, and the voices of leaders committed to delivering better services to communities across the country. That's the Clement Manyatela Show, live from the 2025 SALGA National Members Assembly, this Wednesday on 702. 702.
The Big Interview.
7:20. Question for you. Is Johannesburg becoming ungovernable? Well, this follows reports that in recent months, councillors have received death threats, with some being shot at, others intimidated. Reports also say that council meetings have been collapsing under factional battles, legal threats, power plays that feel more like a war zone than a chamber of governance. So therefore, asking the question, is Joburg becoming simply ungovernable? And are councillors simply unable to carry out their duties? Well, we thought we'd speak to somebody who's in the middle of everything. And Lucinda Harmon, hi, good morning. Lucinda, good to have you on 702.
Good morning, Ray.
Now, we've been saying you're a former councillor, you'd resigned and stepped down, but you haven't. You're still ward councillor for 102, the Ward 102, am I correct?
That's correct. My resignation kicks in on the 30th of November.
All right. Okay. So you have resigned. It kicks in the 30th of November. Why have you given your resignation, and what's going on in the background?
Yeah, I think, I'm actually shocked that the media has never caught on to how many councillors are being murdered. And it's a big concern. We go to council, we have memorial session after memorial session, and it's become such a big problem. The city at the moment it's just so badly managed and so badly governed. And then everything just falls on deaf ears the whole time. Doesn't matter what's happening to you, nobody's bothered to listen. No one's prepared to take action because everything's just collapsing around. And it's impossible to do your work as a ward council. For me, it became impossible under the circumstances. I was tired of intimidations. I was tired of dysfunctionality. These threats that go on and on and on. And it got to the point where my mental health and my physical health took a huge decline. And after 2 weeks in hospital, I kind of came out and realized it was time to resign.
Yeah, listen to who's behind all of this. What's going on? You talk about intimidation. You talk about councillors being murdered. What is going on? Who's behind all of this? What's happening?
Yeah, construction mafia is a huge problem, and I'm going to bring up the big word, projects. Wherever there are projects, you've got the biggest risk of a councillor being murdered. And in Ward 102, it's Randburg CBD, and the projects have also run down to Willowweld and down to Bryanston and to Blegari. Now, Blegari and Randburg CBD were the ones that have been the worst by a long shot. And you know that if there are projects in an area, that councillor is under risk of being murdered, and they certainly are going to be receiving. So it's construction mafia. Construction mafia are behind all of this, and then it's all these hostile political parties that have they're in on it. They're in on the scheme, and they're part of the problem.
Lucinda, have you, I mean, obviously you would have complained about this, you would have spoken about this. I know that Minister Dean McPherson has been very vocal and crushing the construction mafia. Has anybody been listening to you?
No, the answer is absolutely no. And there's the problem. Because if the people had been listening and maybe given me the support, I might have had the legs to carry on. But when you're on your own and there's nobody behind you, it's very difficult to carry on because you realize that you're fighting a battle that's going to cost you probably your life, and unnecessarily so. That's why I've had to step away.
Yeah. And Dada Morero, the Joburg mayor, have you spoken to him? Have you spoken to others?
The problem is, in council we had a meeting about this, about council protection and how bad it is and how many councillors' lives are at risk. And we were in the council chamber, we spoke about it, and nothing's been done about it. They've been sitting with the council policy, protection policy, since 2021. I was in the rules committee. We've just gone back to discuss it again, but it's just discuss after discussion. There's no implementation to taking action. And Dada Moreira is fully aware of what's going on, but he's not taking action. And you've got the speaker with the speaker's office that's never even acknowledged an email from me. And I've spoken to him in person. And still there's no action being taken. And that's when I realized, you know what, nothing's going to change. They don't care. My life, I don't want to end up in the council as another memorial session. I don't want to be there.
Lucinda, have you been directly threatened? And if so, what did they say to you?
You know what? It's always done on the phone. They say more on the phone than they do in written. On the phone, I've been told a number of times, "Watch your back. We're coming for you. If you don't do what we want, if you don't get the projects our way, if you don't bend to our rules, then you better be careful." So it's that kind of thing that comes my way, and it's becoming. But they're always done on a phone. The written things are less. It's more on the phone. Every now and then one does see something in writing, but generally it's always these phone calls, and I just never, ever have the time to record it, or I'm caught in the middle of something. Because if I caught it, it would be another thing. But I do know who they are. That's the interesting part. I actually do know who these people are.
Yeah. The Hawks and the police. I mean, obviously, you're on 702 this morning. Have you spoken to them? Will you be speaking to them?
I turned to, the local police used to help me, wouldn't open a case. I ended up going to provincial police, and they were meant to refer me to the Hawks, which never happened. I got a call one day by someone supposed in the Hawks to meet with me, and they never did. And yeah, that's where it went to. It never went any further. It's just like everything hits a brick wall. And this is just going to continue until somebody takes it seriously. I don't know how many more deaths before someone does, because I'm just watching all these deaths and wondering, how the heck did we get here?
Lucinda, like I said, you're talking on 702 this morning. Are you worried about your security being maybe a whistleblower? Are you worried now about what happens next?
Well, of course you're going to be concerned. You'd be kind of mad if you didn't. But I'm kind of planning my end of my steps right now, and thank heavens where I live, I'm kind of away from it, and there's high protection where I live. But obviously, your life. This is the reality. Your life is at risk. And you know it, and you're aware of it. And when you step away from the councillor, less you're going to have protection, but actually you've had no protection anyway, so you're not missing out on that. But I don't let fear enter my brain too much. I'm dealing with it. I'm going through it. I go and speak to professionals that can actually help me through this. But it's no way to live, right? It's no way to live at all.
It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. Political parties like the DA, other parties apart from those who are governing the city of Johannesburg, what do they say?
Nothing. Nothing. I know that another party got hold of me. They were so shocked by Times Live what they read. And they said, I've been in council and I've spoken about it. And I go, I know. But I don't think anyone's taking it seriously. I just think everyone just thinks we all must get on with our job and keep doing what we're doing. And not rock the boat and not say anything too much. And this is why it's so concerning. Is I've been saying there's a problem a serious problem since April this year. And that is just where the concern is. And councillors privately behind the scenes have been coming to me and saying, it's so sad it got to this. I was probably the person that was saying the most about it, most vocal about it, and and working on the policy. And it's too far it's too far shot. It's too far gone.
Yeah, Lucinda Harmon, thank you so much for being with us on 702 this morning. Lucinda Harmon is the Ward 102 councillor. She's stepping down on the 30th of November. The Hawks, the police, Minister Dean McPherson. I think it's time we all had a conversation about this. This cannot continue.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News Traffic brought to you by South African Airways. SAA now operates 2 flights a day to Gaborone with morning and afternoon departures. Book now at flysaa.com. Amo, how are the roads?
Well, Ray, we still have got major traffic volumes on the N3, both directions between Vincent Chabalala Road and the Baku interchange due to that truck stuck near Vincent turn off, as well as roadworks on the northerly direction of this route. So please be on the lookout there. More details coming up shortly.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Experience Johannesburg to Gaborone with South African Airways, where comfort meets convenience. Enjoy premium service, flexible morning and afternoon departures, and the warm hospitality SAA is known for. For a limited time, return fares start from just 2,762 Rand, all-inclusive. Book by the 4th of December at flysaa.com. South African Airways, bringing you closer. T's and C's apply.
EWN Business.
And this business report proudly sponsored by GIC. Through infrastructure-related projects, GIC sets a better standard of living. GIC changing lives. Mateo, good news for Eskom. S&P Global improving Eskom's credit rating.
Yeah, Ray, S&P Global Rating has upgraded Eskom's foreign and local currency long-term credit ratings from B to B plus with a stable outlook. Eskom delivered electricity 97.9% of the time in the current financial year, achieving its first profit in about 8 years. So a big year for them. Eskom planning to continue implementing its generation recovery initiative, enhancing governance and combating crime and corruption at the company. Eskom is cutting its debt primarily through government debt relief, which has reduced gross debt from 412 billion rand to 327 billion as of September this year. Earlier this year, Fitch Ratings affirmed Eskom's long-term local currency issuer default rating to B, with the outlook that was stable.
Right, Cell C off to the JSE, we see.
Yeah, that happens tomorrow. So they've confirmed a lot of things. Some 102 million Cell C shares have now been allocated to selected qualifying investors. This follows the successful placing of about a third of its shares ahead of its initial public offering on Thursday. That'll be at the JSE here in Sandton. The company's valuation stands at about 9 billion rand. Its parent company, Blue Label, also approving the final offer price after the book build process. Of course, Cell C will separate from Blue Label and list independently. As part of the steps to prepare for that public offering, the prepaid company is also buying Nedbank's 7.5% stake in Cell C, and Lasaka also letting go of that 5% as well. So all systems go ahead of that 9 o'clock on Thursday when Cell C lists independently.
Sure, that's interesting. All right, how's the rand in the markets?
Markets were good yesterday, ending off the day at 280 points, lifted by mining shares, which were up more than 1%. Banking stocks also in the green. Still, industrials having a bit of trouble this week, getting on the green side of things. Super Group, an industrial giant, doing well yesterday, up more than 3%. Harmony was up 3%. Goldfields up 2.7%. Old Mutual was up 2.5%, with MTN Group up 2%. Sasol down 3.5%. Mr. Price down 3%. The JSE darling Naspers down 2%. Grindrod and Advotech down 1.5% yesterday. Looking at the rand, 17 rand 17 cents, still quite solid this morning against the US currency at 19 rand 90 against the euro, and you'll need 22 rand 64 cents to get yourself a British pound. Price of gold at $4,165 an ounce, or platinum is also in the green this morning at $1,556. Brent crude at $62.02 a barrel. More business after 8.
Change requires skill, an agile body to fill the gaps. But real change moves collaboratively, progressively, enabling, because it knows what to do and how to improve the lives of the deserving. Through infrastructure-related projects, GIC actively brings change for the better, because real change sets a standard of living, of being. GIC, changing lives.
7:33 is your time. Sofiso Zulu is your news anchor. Now, Sofiso, those floods in KwaZulu-Natal, hectic.
That's right, Ray. Good morning. More than 460 people have been left homeless due to the floods in New Hanover in the province. The Cooperative Governance Department says more than 100 houses were destroyed during extreme weather on Sunday. One person was found dead in a river, while emergency crews are still searching for 2 people who have been swept away by floods. Cooperative Governance MEC Thulasizwe Buthelezi says they've started helping displaced people.
Even those who are from outside South Africa, the mayor here and all other leaders, the arms were open to say people must come forward so that they get the necessary assistance.
The Commission of Inquiry into Truth and Reconciliation cases will resume this morning to hear arguments over a dispute. The Commission kicked off earlier this month but did not hear any oral arguments. This was due to parties in the inquiry planning to bring a recusal application against Chief Evidence Leader Advocate Ishmael Semenya. Khomotso Modisa reports.
Advocate Ishmael Semenya was part of the council who worked on the NPA policy of 2005, which was developed to address apartheid-era crimes, but was ruled to be unlawful by the Pretoria High Court. It's on this basis that the families of apartheid victims and lawyers for the NPA and Justice Department believe that he should recuse himself from the matter. This morning, the Commission, led by retired Justice Sisi Kampepe, will hear arguments on this recusal application. Thereafter, the Commission will make an order which will inform the way forward. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
Questions over why former Hawks head Godfrey Lebeya sent 3 teams to verify the legitimacy of a raid at the home of alleged underworld figure Katiso Katie Molefe will come into sharp focus before the Madanga Commission today. Yesterday, members of the Hawks Serious Organised Crime Unit testified before the Commission regarding their deployment to Molefe's home. The home was raided and Molefe was arrested by members of the police's political task team in December last year, and he was charged with the murder of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart. Gauteng Hawks head Ibrahim Gadwa says Lebeya called him to deploy members to Molefe's home after they received information that an operation was being carried out by people impersonating Hawks officers.
I had no knowledge where General Lebeya got this information from. General Lebeya is an experienced police officer, experienced detective officer. Surely, if people would have called him, he would have had to do his due diligence.
And MK Party MP Duduzile Zuma Sambudla is being investigated by the Hawks for allegedly manipulating 17 South African men to fight in the front lines for Russia in its ongoing conflict against Ukraine. Duduzile's older sister, Nkosazana Zuma Ncube, opened a case against her at the Sandton police station for allegedly misleading the men into a dangerous situation. News 24 reports that the men were told that they were being sent to Russia for security training, following which they would then be hired to guard high-level MK party leaders. The daughter of former President Jacob Zuma has also opened a case of her own, saying she was scammed by someone else into recruiting the men under false pretenses. Hawk spokesperson Tandim Bambo says both statements from the sisters are being investigated jointly for possible cases of human trafficking, fraud and illegal recruitment.
The DPSA remains in contact with complainants and family members as part of the investigative process, and updates will be provided where appropriate without compromising the integrity of the investigation. Upon finalization of the investigation and the gathering of all relevant evidence, the docket will be submitted to the National Prosecuting Authority for a decision.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 25 and 27 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident reported on the M1 South in Bramley. It's right near Ethel Oaklands Road. It is causing delays. Please be on the lookout there. Just as you come out of Greyston Drive while traveling on the northerly direction, delays from the Kilani Bains to the Corlett Drive exit due to onlookers there.
The top story this hour, more than 460 people have been left homeless due to floods in KZN.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Have you contacted people outside of government structures to try and understand what's happening? Because they are colleagues of yours, like Tutuzile Zuma Sambula. Do you think you can seek clarity from her as a committee?
This is a very serious matter in as far as the law of South Africa is concerned. So we can't adopt some informal processes because we know each other. So it's not going to work that way unless herself she volunteers clarity. We will stick to the institutional arrangements to deal with this matter, not on the basis of you knowing me and vice versa.
Okay.
We're expecting her in the meeting tomorrow.
Great. Maybe she can also answer some questions as well.
We hope so.
Supra Mahoma Pelu is the Portfolio Committee Chair on International Relations and Cooperation.
Clement Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
South Africa has been taking its place on the world stage at the B20 and G20 summits 2025. Telkom is proud to stand with the nation, building a digital future that reaches every community. Through reliable fiber, mobile and cloud networks, Telkom is connecting families, small businesses and young people to new opportunities. They're helping drive digital public infrastructure so services are easier to access for all. Telkom, the digital backbone of South Africa's future.
To celebrate 25 years of helping you live the Premier life, FNB Premier is giving you a chance to win a 14-day European tour experience and other cool monthly prizes. Open any FNB Premier account from September to 31 December 2025. Switch your salary, swipe or tap a minimum of 2,000 Rand per month for 3 months straight. Spend and win with FNB Premier. FNB, help changes everything. TCs and competition rules apply. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
Let's live more. Bring your daydreams to life with Norwegian Cruise Line, sailing to over 400 exciting destinations around the world on 21 spectacular ships. Explore iconic landmarks in Europe, hop islands in the Caribbean, and much more. When it comes to dream holidays, think NCL. For the best cruise deals, visit ncl.com or contact your travel agent. Restrictions apply.
You know what success looks like. Now discover why focus is the driving force behind every success story. Catch 702 in conversation with Momentum on The Money Show with Stephen Krutters every Thursday, discussing the science of success. Step into the mindset of top financial achievers and discover how your thinking, behavior, and focus can shape lasting financial success. That's 702 in conversation with Momentum. Thursdays on The Money Show with Stephen Krutters. Momentum, your journey to success on 702. Momentum is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good morning, Ray. Great interview this morning. It's a real big shame that my counselor has resigned. She was someone of integrity and always listened to us. It's such a shame to hear that no one was listening to her. Definitely need to turn this around, because people like this with such high integrity and the will to get things right. She steered a lot of the reimagined Randburg work. She has helped with the Blegari community taking over the pool, which was abandoned. There's been a lot of initiatives that she's driven, and we all appreciate her. Jetha from Randburg.
Yeah, thanks for your WhatsApp voice notes. This is the thing. And, Dean McPherson, he's the Public Works Minister. I attended a conference with him last year, I think it was, on the construction mafia and chatting to the people. They're talking to the people. There had been a big sort of emphasis on crushing the construction mafia in KwaZulu-Natal. they were doing a really good job of crushing the construction mafia. So hopefully that can now come to the city of Johannesburg, and that same thing, that same energy can come here. Because you're quite right, you don't want councillors to go, councillors who are doing really well, but they've got to look at their own personal safety. And if you start getting these death threats, you start asking yourself, will I get protection? No, I won't. They're not going to give me protection. Is my boss, is the mayor listening? No, he's not. And if that conversation carries on, I would also resign. I think I probably would, because you need to look at your life. But on the other hand, you need people to stand up. So let's make sure that those conversations now happen when it comes down to crushing the construction mafia.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question? Brought to you by Outsurance. It's your chance now to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little bit later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. So SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Okay, so let's get us a question this morning. Nimrod in Clayville. Hi, Nimrod. What is your answer? We need your answer this morning.
Well, my answer is dangerous.
Oh, that's a nice one. Now, Nimrod, are you a member of Outsurance? Do you have a quote with Outsurance?
I am the member.
Fantastic. You got 1,000 Rand on its way to you. Thank you, Nimrod. There we go. Now, the answer from Nimrod is dangerous. What then is the question? I'll take the 7th caller this morning. Up for grabs now, 2,000 Rands in cash, courtesy of Outsurance.
EWN Sport.
All right, Cindy, so it's tea now with the crickets.
It is. Tea on day 5 of the second test. The Proteas now just 5 wickets away from a whitewash series win over India. India started today on 27 for 2. Harmer took 3 wickets today, of which 2 were in the same over. India were 90 for 5, chasing 549. The T20 World Cup next year draw was done. Proteas in a fairly easy Group D against New Zealand, Canada, Afghanistan and the UAE. Orlando Pirates beat Chipper 2-0 to go level with table-topping Sundowns in the backs of a game in hand. It was late second half goals from Magopa and Apollos for the win. Coach Abdeslam Wadu on another clean sheet.
Defending, it's an art. It's very important to know where, when and how we want to recover the ball. We are strong defensively because we think the same thing in the same moment. And like I said to the guys, if we have 1 or 2 players that leaving us down, it can be difficult. So I have to congratulate them since the beginning. These guys were very brave, fantastic team spirit.
Tonight, Auburn College hosts Stellenbosch. In the Champions League, Manchester City lost 2-0 to Leverkusen. City boss Pep Guardiola says he takes full responsibility.
Yeah, too many changes. So, what I said, always I believe that the long seasons, every 2 days, 3 days, 2 days, 3 days, everyone has to involve, but maybe it was too much seeing the result. I think they play to don't make a mistake, instead to play to do what you have to do. They are a really, really good team. Congratulate, of course, Leverkusen, but yeah, it is what it is. Take absolutely full responsibility.
Chelsea beat a 10-man Barcelona 3-0, including a goal from 18-year-old Estavio. Benfica got a first win under Mourinho, beating Ajax 2-0. Juventus beating Bodo Glimt 3-2 with a stoppage time winner. Newcastle lost to Marseille 2-1. Aubameyang scored 2 goals. Dortmund thrashing Villarreal 4-0. Tonight's selected games: Arsenal hosting Bayern Munich, Inter away at Atletico. Liverpool are hosting Eindhoven. PSG welcome Spurs. Real Madrid up against Olympiacos. And World Rugby's Dream Team of the Year has 6 Springboks: Malcolm Marx, Oxen Chair, Thomas du Toit, Peter Steph du Toit, as well as Sasha Feinberg, Ngomazulu and Cheslin Colby. The Boks take on Wales this Saturday. Kick-off is at 5:10. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Who says everyday driving can't be très chic? Rent premium with Sani Sixt now. Own the stylish Citroen C3 later. Yes, that's 3 cars, 3 months, 3 chances to say ooh la la. Just book directly on sani.co.za. Call us or rent at any branch between 1 November and 31 January, and you're automatically entered into the draw. Bon voyage with Sani Sixt and win. T's and C's apply.
Unbox up to 70% off with At Home this Black Friday. New deals and more styles have just been added, you see. Get 25% off all bedding and inners, including Granny Goose, plus elevate your kitchen with up to 20% off all kitchenware, including 2,000 Rand off Sage appliances. Shop these exclusive deals in-store or online now on Bash for a limited time while stocks last. TFG Rewards members only. T's and C's apply. At Home, imagine more.
Elevate your flying experience with Lift Premium. Enjoy even more space, comfort, and convenience with priority boarding, extra baggage allowance, and complimentary lounge access. Visit lift.co.za today.
EWN Traffic.
13 minutes to 8 o'clock in this Eyewitness News Traffic, brought to you by the Opel Mokka. It's all eyes on you when you drive the unmissable Opel Mokka. Visit opel.co.za or your nearest dealership to book a test drive today. How are we looking, Amo?
Well, Ray, traveling in the Bramley area, an accident reported on the M1 South. It's right near Coilet Drive. It's causing delays from Grayston Drive. Please be on the lookout there. While on the northerly direction of this route, do you expect heavier traffic volumes? Obviously, due to peak time delays. This is between the Kilani Bains and Grayston Drive. Traveling on the N3 South, we still have got that problem from earlier on. We spoke about a truck stuck near Vincent Chabalala Road. Delays coming out of the Baklu interchange. As a result, we're seeing delays on the N1 South, leaving Midrand area towards the Baklu turn off, and there's also queuing traffic along the R21 North approaching the Flying Saucer interchange. That's due to an accident in Pierre van Reineveld, so please be on the lookout there. More updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Dispatch, this is Patrol. We've pulled over a compact SUV. Not too sure about the colour. Mamba, maybe. Mamba? Affirmative. Sleek. Futuristic. Different in a cool way. Definitely German. Approaching now.
Officer, do you need backup?
I just had to tell someone how cool it is.
Turn heads in the new unmissable Opel Mokka. Check out the bold design at your nearest dealer or on opel.coza.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question? Brought to you by Outsurance. Is now your chance to win 1,000 Rands in cash. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Right, Nimrod, he told us that the answer was dangerous. What then is the question? And I said I'd take the 7th line. So this is the 7th. Faith, good morning. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. If I said to you the answer is dangerous, what then is the question?
The question is, what is the title of Michael Jackson's album that was released in 1991, specifically on this day?
Yo, and are you a member of Outsurance? Do you have a quote?
Yes.
Well, that's lovely. Then you got 2,000 Rands in cash. Faith, congratulations. Wow. Yes, not too bad for a wobbly Wednesday. Nicely done. Thank you, Faith. There we go. 2,000 Rands in cash. On this day in 1991, Michael Jackson dropped Dangerous, his 8th studio album. The record delivered a string of unforgettable hits, well, like this one. There we go, Michael Jackson and Black or White. So there we go, Faith, 2,000 Rands on its way to you, courtesy of Outsurance in 702.
You could spend 10 minutes trying to fix the office printer, or get a 10-minute quote from Outsurance that could save you thousands on your car insurance. SMS out to 45142. like 65-year-old Helena, who now pays an incredibly low 398 Rand a month for her 2025 Hyundai Exter. With Outsurance, you get the legendary Out bonus that pays you a percentage of your premiums back if you're claim-free. SMS out to 45142. After switching, 48-year-old Felicity now pays only 836 Rand a month for her 2020 Hyundai Tucson. Outsurance will either save you money on your car insurance or give you cash. If Outsurance can't beat what you're currently paying, ask them for 500 Rand. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Savings or cash, you have nothing to lose. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
If you want a versatile SUV that's smart, efficient, and seriously advanced, meet the all-new BYD Sea-Lion 5 plug-in hybrid. It's the affordable SUV that gives electric power for your everyday trips, fuel-powered backup for your longer drives, and premium tech everywhere you look. The BYD Sea-Lion 5 is packed with cutting-edge tech, from advanced driver assist safety features to the groundbreaking DMI technology. The BYD Sea-Lion 5 makes every drive smarter. Visit www.byd.com and pre-book your test drive today. BYD, build your dreams.
Hey guys, this is Robert Marawa, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Playing responsibly is part of the winning strategy. Make smart choices and continue to score. If you or someone that you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Do you suffer from heartburn and hyperacidity? To relieve heartburn for the whole day and night with one tablet, a potent once-a-day treatment which was previously prescription only is now available over the counter. Ask your pharmacist for an over-the-counter, long-lasting heartburn treatment. Brought to you by Sandoz.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Good morning, Kabazela.
Hey, good morning to you, Ray Ray.
Right, people who are good with kids, they're a certain breed, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And also, they may be good with kids, but kids flock towards them. So, this guy that we're going to play a video of is basically saying that kids have a sense of people, and they will gravitate towards these kinds of people. And then he goes on to say some other things about these people who have these abilities, if you want to put that in inverted commas. So let's take a listen, and we'll chat thereafter, Ray.
I'm an absolutely firm believer with people who are good with kids. Not forced, who are naturally good with kids. And kids stare at them, always want to be around them, just love being around their presence. There's something big about you. And if things go, if you make the right decisions and do what you're supposed to be doing, mistakes will be made. Obviously, it's life. You are going to be big. Whatever that big is, you're going to make it. You're okay. I'm a firm believer kids are the closest to the spiritual world as humans. And I'm telling you, they gravitate towards you as a person. There's something special about you. No one will ever change my mind about that.
Oh, you see. But you get those adults who are just good with kids. Kids love them. Go to a braai or something and the kids just climb all over them and they, playing pirates or whatever. It's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. So I wonder if you are that kind of person where children gravitate towards you and they just, they like to be around you for whatever reason that maybe you're just that fun uncle, or maybe there's something about you that, according to what this guy says, kids are, they can see things and spiritually and all that kind of stuff. So let's hear that this morning if you are one of those people, or if you have one of those people in your life. Maybe it's your wife, it's your husband, your aunt or uncle, whatever it is that has got something about them. I'd love to hear that story. And maybe, do you agree with what he's saying? Do you believe what he's saying and think his views are correct? Let's hear those this morning.
Love it, love it, love it. We'll have to leave it there, Kabazelas. There we go. Are you one of those people who are good with the kids? Over 702-702-1702.
EWN Traffic.
And this EWN traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 rands. All right, Amo, you are good with kids, so you're also good with the traffic. What you got?
Oh, thank you, Ray. Well, we've got delays around the Baklu interchange. Routes that are affected include the N1 South towards the Baklu, N3 North, as well as the M1 South out of the Baklu. So this is due to multiple reasons. Please be on the lookout there and continue driving with care. I'll give you more details coming up shortly. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Without insurance, every day is Black Friday. Get a quote today, and if they can't beat your car insurance premium, ask them for 500 rand in cash. Make that 1,500 rand if you've been claim free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Without insurance, you could get monthly premium savings or at least 500 rand in cash. You've got nothing to lose. Get a quote. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142 now. A licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
702
Feedback
with Siamtanda Matiso.
Siamtanda, you are having a busy morning this morning.
It has been a busy morning, Ray. Listen, on the back of the rumors that the African National Congress President Cyril Ramaphosa is planning to step down, many view that they have mixed reactions on this. Some are saying this is an opportunity for ANC to do something big, introduce a younger person to lead them and also reinvent themselves. But others are saying, listen, if Ramaphosa leaves, then they don't see any suitable successor who is ready to take over, and also warning that his departure might signal an end of the era when it comes to the political party. So mixed reactions there. Yeah, fears, but also hope there.
You know, the newspaper article this morning has said, better the devil you know. Now, I'm not calling our president the devil. I'm certainly not. It's just a saying, and it's perhaps that's it. I don't know. I'm asking people this morning, how do they feel about Cyril Ramaphosa possibly stepping down? There's been no confirmation of this. We haven't heard from the presidency, but it is in one of the major newspapers this morning, The Citizen. And therefore, I just thought, let's mention it. I've seen it on social media. Let's put it out there. What else are you watching?
Listen, you asked that question, what is your biggest fear? And it's ahead of Adam Gilchrist's story where a woman was almost buried alive. Some mentioned that they fear being buried alive, but being stranded in a deserted place without any petrol, or while you are going on your hiking trail with no network to call for emergencies for someone to come and fetch you is some of the things that people mentioned. Being trapped in an elevator and not getting any response is the other one that people have mentioned. And also having a doctor who's not experienced operating on you is another one. But also just feeling everything while you're being sedated is some of the things that people have a fear of. So we have lots of fear. Can't wait to hear what Adam has to say about the story, because it's one extraordinary and one that I'm like, I would die. Literally, they'll faint and die.
I know some of the things.
If I would be buried alive. But also scaling back is one of Muteo's questions when it comes to your finances. So many have experienced this, where they had to move back home, or they trade their car for a cheaper one, or moving into a smaller house is what they mentioned. So lots of reactions, and I can't wait to hear more, right?
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. 072 702 1702. This is your radio station. It's also 8 o'clock, and this Eyewitness News is brought to you by Checkers, the home of Black Friday, where you save up to 50% this weekend.
This is EWN.
A judge and a church leader have been arrested for alleged corruption, and defiant Collins Letwalo gets another warning to appear in Parliament. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. 4 suspects, including a judge and a leader of a well-known church, are expected to appear in the Pretoria Serious Commercial Crimes Court this morning. They were arrested on charges of corruption and money laundering during an operation conducted last night. Lauren Isaacs reports.
The Hawks say yesterday's arrests follow serious allegations of corruption involving attempts to influence a civil case currently before the High Court in Pretoria. The matter apparently relates to a well-known South African church embroiled embroiled in a long-standing succession dispute. It's alleged the presiding judge received gratification from the main accused in exchange for delivering a favourable judgment in the matter. Meanwhile, warrants of arrest have been obtained for 3 additional suspects believed to be involved in the alleged corruption and money laundering scheme. The Hawks say a probe revealed a money trail amounting to millions of rand that allegedly exchanged hands among the accused. Lauren Isaacs, Eyewitness News.
National Police Chief Financial Officer Puleng Dimpane has told Parliament that anyone found to have been involved in corruption must be held accountable and that the law should take its course without fear or favour. She says people responsible for capturing the police must be held responsible no matter their rank. Dimpane told the ad hoc committee investigating police corruption that she did not participate in any tender adjudication committees and she does not know suspected criminal Vusmuzi Ket Matlala. Matlala is set to appear before the committee today and tomorrow at the Kgosi Mampuru prison in Pretoria where he's jailed. Babalondenze reports.
Puleng Dimpane was questioned for hours yesterday by the evidence leader and members of the committee about how close her involvement was in the awarding of tenders as the police's head of finance. Committee member Ashley Sauls also grilled Dimpane about Vusumuzi Ket Matlala's tender and whether it was proof that the police were captured.
Contract was awarded to Mr. Matlala. Is this proof that SEPS has been infiltrated by criminals?
Dimpane said she can't comment on the specific tender, and when the contract was awarded, there was nothing before the adjudication committee that suggested that the contract was awarded to a criminal.
Those that are responsible for wrongdoing in SAPS must be held to account at any level without any fear or favor. If anyone engages themselves with criminals and capture SAPS and corruption.
On the disbanding of the political killings task team, Dimpane informed the committee that a document used as evidence by Senzo Mchunu, which she authored, was used in bad faith. Babalondenze, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts is giving former Road Accident Fund CEO Collins Letswalo one more chance to appear before it today or face consequences for defying a summons. Letswalo snubbed the committee yesterday after another lawyer's letter arguing the committee is acting outside of its powers. Most MPs have taken a dim view of Letswalo's defiance and have called for him to be criminally charged. Lindsay Dentlinker reports.
Following weeks of testimony from former and present RAF employees, Scopa wants to hear from Collins Letswalo regarding the executive appointments he's made, the switch of accounting standards and procurement matters. After being stood up yesterday, the committee once again wrote to his attorneys asking whether he will turn up today. MPs say Parliament should not tolerate its summonses being ignored. The MK Party's Talente Kubeka.
Whatever the outcome is of this back and forth that is happening with Mr. Letswalo, that we do not at the end appear as Parliament to be a toothless dog.
Action SA's Alan Beasley.
I think we're setting a very dangerous precedent if we don't take him into the full might of the criminal justice system, because as Parliament we do have an oversight responsibility.
Should Letswalo again fail to appear today, the committee will proceed to hear evidence from former board members. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And finally, there's been an increase in tourists visiting our shores. The latest data from South SA shows that more than 8 million tourists traveled to South Africa in the last 10 months. Last month, more than 900,000 visitors arrived on South African soil, marking an increase of 32% from the same period last year. Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille says the department will submit a full report on these figures to Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Tourism.
We are busy doing the auditing now, and once we have collate and reconcile all the figures and the impact on Gauteng, with the heads of state meeting being hosted there.
She says the uptick in visitors can be attributed to increased air access and ease of travel.
From January to October, in the same period in 2024, we had 7.2 million visitors, and for 2025, we had 8.56 million visitors.
Gold is trading at $4,159.41 an ounce. The rand is at 17.17 to the dollar, 22.65 to the pound, 19.89 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $62.77 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 South between the Baku interchange and Corlet Drive. That's due to peak time delays as well as an accident reported right near Corlet exit causing these delays. There's also slow-moving traffic along the N1 South. This is just as you leave the Brakfontein interchange towards Midrand.
And in your sport, tea time on day 5, the Proteas still needing 5 wickets to beat India. There's approximately 60 overs left in the day. Orlando Pirates level with Sundowns in the Premiership after last night's win over Chipper. And City boss Pep Guardiola says he takes full responsibility for his side's Champions League defeat.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers. The temperatures will peak at highs between 25 and 27 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: 4 suspects, including a judge and a leader of a well-known church, are expected to appear in the Pretoria Serious Commercial Crimes Court this morning.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Checkers has issued a nationwide Black Friday announcement with savings of up to 50% from everyday groceries to top tech appliances and so much more. The deal making waves countrywide is Parmalat Gouda or cheddar cheese, 850 grams, also any for 99 Rand. Save 51 Rand. So grab your extra savings card now and make the most of these massive savings. In store only while stocks last. To Checkers, the home of Black Friday.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
8 minutes past 8 o'clock. Good morning from me, Ray White, in for Bongles this morning. Bongani will be back with you on your radio station tomorrow morning from 6 to 9. Lots to talk about this morning. We've had a broad discussion on a number of issues and topics. One of the big ones, Cyril Ramaphosa, is he going? Is our president, I don't know, according to the Citizen this morning, been looking at social media as well, there's been this, I don't know, a number of reports saying that he's had enough, he's tired, he wants to go. And the ANC saying, no, please don't do that. And I've been asking you this morning, where would this leave the ANC? Some saying, well, fresh new leaders could come to the fore. We could see a younger leader take over. How are you feeling about that, if it had to happen? We haven't heard from the presidency. These are reports that we've received, and we're just acting on those reports, but nothing has been confirmed yet, but I'd like to hear from you. I spoke to Councillor Lucinda Harmon from the city of Joburg. She's stepping down. She's resigning as a ward councillor. She's worried about her safety. She's had numerous threats from the construction mafia. They've said to her, either you do A, B, or C, or else, well, we're going to come for you. So that was one discussion as well, and we're going to take that further. Speak to the Hawks. Speak to the city of Joburg. She says she spoke to the mayor. She says she's complained. Nothing's happened. So that's another thing to talk about as well this morning. And then also, Kabazella's talking about, are you good with the kids? Are you a good kids person? In fact, I can honestly say that Mateo, you and Amo, you both strike me as good with kids. You're both good parents, I think. That's what I think, Mateo.
That's very generous, Ray. Thank you.
Okay, I'll speak to your wife later.
I think kids like me because I'm taller. I think they gravitate to me because I'm taller, and I pick them up, swing them around, and that's the only reason, really.
You do have a kind nature, though. I know you come across as fierce, but you've got a kind nature. I can see it. Amo, yeah, anyway, we'll leave that to you, Mama Amo. And also talking about your biggest fear this morning, that's with Adam Gilchrist coming up. He's got a story that is really, really hectic. So I'd like to hear from you. What are your biggest fears? We'll also be touching base with Salga shortly. They've got their National Members Assembly, and they're talking about local governments and all sorts of great things there. So lots to talk about this morning. 072 702 1702.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Good morning, Ray and 702 listeners. I think what the speaker is saying about kids is absolutely true. My wife is a magnet for kids. Everywhere we go, kids from all walks of life and backgrounds and all races. Either they will be smiling towards her or they will want her to lead them and whatever. So I think it also has to do with something spiritual, because kids are pure at heart, and even things that are of evil nature, kids will be able to see it or even spooks or ghosts in the house, they'll be seen by kids more than any other person. So I think that this has to do something with spirituality. Thank you.
Good morning, Ray and the team. To Kabazela's question today, I hope I'm not blowing my own horn. I am very good with kids, or rather, kids love me. I get confused about it. Maybe that's why I don't want to blow my own horn. But they flock to me and they hug me every morning when I drop off my daughter. Like they'll just come and hug me. Even the boys will just stare at me, and I'm like, "Do you want a hug?" And they'll be on some no, but they'll just stare. So it confuses me, and I'll take it as a good thing. Let me rather say that, because I do believe I have high energy.
Hi, 702 team. You know what? I'm one of those people. Children just love to be around. I do believe that there is something special about us, because in a room full of people, I promise you, if a child is crying and then I come closer, they're likely to warm up to me, and I'm still waiting for that big thing though.
That big thing, though. Well, this is the thing, you see. If you're kind to kids, and I think they just crave attention, that's all. They love attention. And they love you just to wink at them or smile at them, and they look back at you, and it's just about getting that special moment. Kids just love attention.
I don't think so, because sometimes those kids that don't want to be touched, that don't want to be held, just leave them with their mothers or their parents and don't even try to, smile at them, because sometimes they'll just cry. And lucky I don't suffer from that, because kids just gravitate towards me.
You as well.
Yeah, they really do. They just want to, be held by me. They cry for me. And sometimes I think it's because I'm always with my children. If it is at a shopping mall, a shopping center, they see my kids. They maybe want the kids and they would want me as a result. But yeah, I do think it has a lot to do with your spirit and being pure, because kids also just are pure spirits. So if you're a pure person, a child will gravitate towards you.
Or a child will tell you if they don't like you.
Yeah.
They will say, "You're not a nice person." I mean, from the mouth of babes, that's the terminology. They will tell you. They will tell you if they don't like you.
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Ray, there's one thing that terrifies me. Out of all the living things on earth, Chichiboya. Chichiboya. That hairy worm. I regard that as the most dangerous animal in the world. Chichiboya. I remember when I was 5 years old. That thing was a terrorist. Terrorized me. Even now, if I see it, I need to change direction or walk around 100 kilometers around it.
Good morning, Ray and team. My biggest fear has to be snakes. Snakes, even on TV, even on a newspaper or magazine, I don't want to see it. I just get, a type from Protea then.
Morning, Ray and team. I am scared of snakes and dogs. Mzwandile, the Hill Joburg South.
I've done some Googling as well, and thank you to CM Tanda, our producer. Also, Tichiboya, that is a brand worm. I've got a picture of it here. It's this horrible-looking thing. It's got little things coming out of it, and I can see why you're scared of it. Those little worms. You get those worms that got not like a millipede or a centipede, but they've got those things coming out. That's a Chichiboya. So we'll be chatting to Adam shortly. He's got this story coming up about somebody. I'm not going to steal his thunder. That's coming up at about 5 minutes from now. But somebody who had a terrifying experience, something that you don't want to happen to you.
EWN Traffic.
It's 8:15. Amo, we've had one or two accidents, but then the M1 South, I see there's some delays there.
Yeah, that's correct, Ray. Between the Baklu turnoff and Kola Drive, so heading towards Melrose could be problematic this morning. An accident has been reported near Kola Drive exit. It's causing heavy traffic volumes. If you're traveling on the M1 North, also please be on the lookout for delays approaching Grayston Drive exit coming out of the Killarney Bends. And there's also queuing traffic on the N12 as well as the R24 West between Edenville Road and the Kililis interchange due to roadworks along the route in the city of Tshwane. That accident we spoke about along the R21 North is still there, right near the Flying Saucer interchange. It's still causing delays. Please be on the lookout. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Don't forget, one day to go before the Gallagher, Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger Black Friday sale. Now, shop premium styles from Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger this weekend only. Starting tomorrow, that's Thursday the 27th of November to Sunday the 30th of November at the Gallagher Convention Centre in Midrand. First come, first to style.
Join the Times Square Lights Extravaganza this December. Experience our gardens outside the Sunbet Arena come alive with bright, sparkling festive lights. Take a stroll and discover mesmerizing photo opportunities at every turn. After that, grab a bite and drink in the Times Square festive atmosphere. Bring your friends and family and enjoy the Times Square Lights Extravaganza this December. Experience our gardens come alive with bright, sparkling festive lights.
Business doesn't stop when you step out of the office, and neither should your connection. Turn on mobility with Telkom Business. Get the Oppo Reno 12F smartphone with 50 gigs of additional data once off on Telkom Flex on 2. Was 429 Rand per month, now 369 Rand per month over 36 months. That's a total saving of 2,160 Rand.
This Black Friday, your business deserves the best. Visit telkom.co.za/business. T's and C's apply. Telkom Business. Possible begins here.
Do you suffer from heartburn and hyperacidity? To relieve heartburn for the whole day and night with one tablet, a potent once-a-day treatment which was previously prescription only is now available over the counter. Ask your pharmacist for an over-the-counter, long-lasting heartburn treatment. Brought to you by Sandoz.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
You suggest South Africa has the money. It's all about where the money flows. And from what you say, the money that we have has not been going into investments for the future, particularly for poorer people.
There's plenty of money building up, in particular in the private sector, which is not being invested in fixed assets, in particular infrastructure. And so the challenge is, how does that funding get unlocked?
Professor Mark Swilling.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by ABSA CIB. Invested in your story and inviting you to write it with them. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
19 minutes past 8 o'clock now. It's a pivotal week for the country's local government sector as the 2025 Solga National Members Assembly continues in eThekwini. One of the major themes emerging from the discussions is the urgent need to strengthen the financial foundations of local municipalities. Very important, because without a sustainable funding model, service delivery simply cannot improve. Well, joining us to unpack the conversations around the proposed review of the municipal funding model is Solga's Deputy President, Xanthia Limburg. Xanthia, hi, good morning. Welcome to 702.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Xanthia, why was this year's theme centered on economic resilience and sustainable service delivery then?
Well, the theme is meant to highlight the critical role that municipalities can and should play in driving the national growth agenda. Essentially, economies happen at a local level, and for municipalities to leverage their specialized constitutional mandates in terms of key service delivery areas, they need to make sure that their operations are financially sustainable. So when we talk about water, electricity, and waste, these utilities need to be financially viable. And so that is key to ensuring that they can be economically resilient, but also ensure that they drive local economic growth to create job creation at a local level. So municipalities essentially don't exist in a vacuum, and the theme is about ensuring that we empower municipalities to really step up to support the growth agenda at a national level. And so the National Members Assembly will be looking at a number of strategic commissions that will speak to core pillars of delivery, such as our municipal finances, but as well as digital transformation as we move into the space of AI.
Yeah. Anthea, how prepared then are local municipalities, I suppose, to implement these reforms being tabled at the NMA?
Well, municipalities are extremely diverse in terms of their resources and capabilities, and so the level of preparedness is also, should I say, imbalanced. And the purpose of the discussions today is about speaking to interventions and solutions that will fit the range of municipalities that exist within our country, to make sure that we have fit-for-purpose solutions so that each municipality, no matter how rural or how urbanized they are, can optimally perform and drive the overall economic agenda of the country.
And then in what ways, I suppose, can the NMA strengthen municipal capacity? They need to strengthen leadership as well.
Well, this is the importance of the commissions. The commissions will ultimately table resolutions to the Assembly. Those resolutions will look at things such as enhanced professionalization, strengthening the capabilities of oversight from the perspective of councillors who serve in municipalities. It will also look at resolutions that speak to system improvement to deal with enhanced municipal revenue recovery. All of these things optimally will assist municipalities to play their important role as part of the overall growth agenda for the country.
And then, of course, communities saying, what about us? So what impact should local communities expect from this year's Assembly?
It goes to service delivery and enhanced and quality service delivery. And so the focus of every single commission, every single panel debate, all of the master classes that are hosted as part of the National Assembly all ultimately have a focus on improved service delivery, and our residents, our citizens across all communities in the country should ultimately feel and see the impact of enhanced service delivery through the interventions that SOLGA will drive as a result of the resolutions tabled as the outcome of the different commissions and panel discussions through over the next 2 days.
Xanthia Limburg, it's been great to chat to you this morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. That was Xanthia Limburg, the SOLGA Deputy President.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
Good morning, Adam.
Morning, Cape. Morning, Cape. Morning, Ray. Make you a place name.
There we go. I'd love to be in the Cape at the moment, but no, here we are. Now, listen, back from the dead. We've been talking about that this morning. Some of the scariest things that you can get yourself into. I'm scared of being buried alive. That's my big one. But you got another story, back from the dead.
It sort of taps into that a little bit, doesn't it? Yes. So this woman was in the coffin, going to be cremated at a Buddhist temple on the outskirts of Bangkok in Thailand. The temple's general manager, Perat Zudhub, says he suddenly heard a faint knock from inside the coffin and said he was startled to hear it. Well, you would be, wouldn't you? It's a knock from inside a coffin.
Wow.
He opened up the lid, and there she was knocking on the side of the coffin, and sort of blinking her eyes open. She has been taken to hospital since. So she is alive, not necessarily that well. The brother of the woman in the coffin, the 65-year-old woman, says local officials had told him his sister had died, although he didn't have a death certificate. So in other words, no doctor had actually pronounced her dead. A doctor later confirmed the woman had been experiencing severe hypoglycemia, so her blood sugar levels were critically low. You've got to say, wow, a bit of low glucose, you're sitting still, and suddenly your family starts your funeral. It's a bit harsh, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, imagine that you're heading off towards the crematorium and you wake up in a coffin. I can think of nothing worse. A shocker. Right, renewed French national service. We used to have national service in South Africa, but the French are going for that once again.
Yeah, interestingly, an awful lot of countries did once upon a time, not so many now, but President Emmanuel Macron says he will announce a new military service. He hasn't quite announced it yet, but he says it's about boosting French army numbers. It's about, as he put it, the hybrid confrontation waged by Russia. He called them the one power that threatens us the most. There are plenty in the French media who are worried about this scheme being a way of sending young people to go and fight in Ukraine, potentially, or to line up on the border in Poland, whatever. Emmanuel Macron says absolutely not. It's not about that, but it's a voluntary scheme. It will be remunerated. It'll last 10 months. And this new framework will address the desire for service as well from the youth. He says there are young people who want to do this as well. Throughout the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, I'd say that generally Western allies abandoned the whole idea of national service and conscription, with a few notable exceptions. But one by one, countries are gradually returning to this. I guess there are scary things in the world again.
Oh, they are. And of course, France being part of NATO, there's that whole thing going on too. So
yeah.
Now the cryptic own goal. Tell us more.
This is the International Association for Cryptologic Research, who hold a leadership election every now and again to choose, who's going to be the boss of their association. And I mean, they're all about numbers and crypto this and cyber the other and all sorts of, magic things that happen in certain spheres. Well, somebody lost the encrypted key to the encrypted election results. In a statement, the scientific organization says one of the trustees had an honest but unfortunate human mistake. So they can't see the election results because they're encrypted and nobody knows how to get in. So the research organization is now going to run a new election, as they put it, with new safeguards. Do you know what I'm thinking? Forget that crypto nonsense. Pencil and paper in a sealed envelope. You can't beat it unless you're at the Oscars.
You really can't. Thanks, Adam. That's Adam Gilchrist and The Worldview.
EWN Business.
Right, good morning once again to Matteo. I'm loving this Pepcore story. I mean, this means a lot to the banking sector and choices for you and me.
Yeah, the Prudential Authority has given the nod to Pepcore to go ahead to launch a financial services offering. Pepcore will compete in a highly competitive sector dominated by the likes of FNB, Absa, Nedbank, Capitec, Standard Bank, already in that particular sector. You think it's saturated, but there's been a lot of entries from retailers and other companies like telecoms firms, African retailers, South African retailers such as ShopRite and Pick n Pay, which offers in-store banking through Time Bank, are also exploring new revenue streams through fintech. Old Mutual also re-entering the space after exiting its Nedbank stake. And earlier this month, Pepcore, which owns the Pep and Ackermans clothing brand, said the group's fintech segment grew by 31% to 16.6 billion rand, driven by 61% growth in financial services and a 13.7% rise in Flash, its informal market platform. So they're more than ready to get in there. And of course, let's remember they have 10 million digital clients. So it's a good start off for them to try and get into the banking pie.
You can't lose. You actually can't lose. 10 million digital clients. And all you have to do is contact them and offer them a flashy deal.
You have to be very convincing.
Exactly. Right, Nedbank, the Nedbank Group, agreeing to pay Transnet 600 million. It's a story that broke last night, and I thought it kind of snuck in there, and there's all state capture and all those things involved.
I think it's been a story that's been going on for about a year now. In a confidential commercial settlement, Nedbank has ended a year-long legal dispute over interest rate swaps. Now, in a case launched by Transnet and South Africa's Special Investigating Unit, both parties sought to recover money the logistics firm unduly paid to Nedbank in 2015 and 2016 through swap transactions. The SIU and Transnet alleged that the bank made more than 2.7 billion rand in profit from the deals. Nedbank, on the other hand, had denied wrongdoing, saying its sales margin was market-related and that its actual gain amounted to no less than 43 million rand, but instead of going to the courts back and forth and losing more money, 600 million rand in settlement.
Well, there it is. How's the rand in the markets?
Well, the markets were far stronger yesterday. The all share up 280 points, pushed up by mining shares, which were up more than 1%, and it showed in the top 10 of the top 100 companies. Anglo was up 2.9%, Harmony up more than 3%, Mondi up 3%, with Old Mutual up 2.5% yesterday. Some losses for Mr. Price, they were down 3%. Omnia, the chemicals group, down 1.5%. Advotech, the owners of private schools, they were also down 1.5% yesterday. The rand has been quite stubborn around that 17 rand 17 cent mark against the US dollar. It remains there at this hour, 19 rand 90 against the euro, and at 22 rand 64 cents against the British pound. Price of gold up more than 0.5% at $4,158 an ounce, while platinum is also stronger this morning at $1,554. Brent crude staying low for those diesel and petrol prices at $62.01 a barrel. That's your morning business. Stephen Grotes covering business later this afternoon.
Thanks, Mateo. 8:32 is the time now. Safisa, we were chatting to Solga a short while ago about local municipalities, and you've also got a story about struggling municipalities.
That's right, Ray. Good morning. Deputy President Paul Mashatile says struggling municipalities cannot expect debt write-offs to become the norm. He's warned that those who fail to comply with Treasury conditions to manage their finances will not be eligible for any bailout. Municipalities owe Eskom and water boards billions of rand in unpaid debt. Answering questions in the National Council of Provinces yesterday, Mashatile did not rule out merging non-viable municipalities which can't survive. Lindsay Tentlinka reports.
Deputy President Paul Mashatile says municipalities can't rely on grant funding meant for infrastructure development to plug the gap owing to a lack of revenue. Treasury is withholding equitable share transfers to municipalities with large debts to bulk service providers and redirecting the money to pay suppliers instead.
We're not going to keep debt relief forever. Eskom and water boards can't afford that. They need those resources to be able to expand services.
Mashatile says the lack of a revenue base in some municipalities can't, however, be ignored.
In the long run, as I said, we might even merge some of the municipalities to ensure viability.
He says the ANC is switching up its political leadership in failing municipalities, where it's attempting to identify the cause of service delivery collapse. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
More than 460 people have been left homeless due to floods in New Hanover in KwaZulu-Natal. The Cooperative Governance Department says more than 100 houses were destroyed during extreme weather on Sunday. One person was found dead in a river while emergency crews are still searching for two people who have been swept away by floods. Cooperative Governance MEC Thulasizwe Buthelezi says they've started helping displaced people.
Even those who are from outside South Africa, the mayor here and all other leaders, the arms were open to say people must come forward so that they get the necessary assistance.
Chief Justice Mandi Samaya says the South African judiciary is facing strain on almost all fronts. Maya delivered the annual judiciary reports for the 2023, 2024 and 2024 and 2025 financial years. The reports show that South Africa's courts are struggling to keep up with their caseload and most are failing to finalize matters on time. Khomotso Madisa reports.
The first annual judiciary report delivered by Chief Justice Mandi Samaya has shown a struggling judiciary with courts battling to keep up with caseloads. She's given reasons for why the Constitutional Court was the worst performing in terms of delivering reserved judgments, with only 13% delivered in the prescribed time.
The schedule, the Apex Court schedule, is significantly impacted by a heavy flow of high-profile, complex and urgent matters that fall within its exclusive jurisdiction or ambit of direct access. These cases demand the intense attention of all the justices who sit and bank.
Maya says such delays unfortunately result in uncertainty in the law. Khomzo Modise, Eyewitness News.
And Brazil's Supreme Court has ordered former President Jair Bolsonaro to begin serving a 27-year sentence for plotting a failed coup after he exhausted all appeals. Bolsonaro is being jailed in a small room at police headquarters equipped with a television, mini fridge and air conditioning. The 70-year-old was convicted in September over a scheme to stop Lula da Silva from taking office as president after the 2022 elections that included a plot to kill the veteran leftist. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers expected today. The temperatures will peak at highs between 25 and 27.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 South approaching the Baklu interchange, as well as the N3 North towards the Baklu turn-off due to roadworks.
The top story this hour, Deputy President Paul Mashatile says struggling municipalities cannot expect debt write-offs to become the norm.
Access to the internet is vital for any country to grow. That's why the recent 6.75 billion rand digital infrastructure deal that Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking facilitated between Telkom and an Actors-led consortium is so transformational for South Africa. It unlocks growth and provides internet access to underserved communities who will now have access to the internet for the very first time. Search CIB Stories of Impact to watch the full story.
Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
If you want a versatile SUV that's smart, efficient, and seriously advanced, meet the all-new BYD Sea Lion 5 plug-in hybrid. It's the affordable SUV that gives electric power for your everyday trips, fuel-powered backup for your longer drives, and then premium tech everywhere you look. The BYD Sea Lion 5 is packed with cutting-edge tech, from advanced driver assist safety features to the groundbreaking DMI technology. The BYD Sea Lion 5 makes every drive smarter. Visit www.byd.com and pre-book your test drive today. So it's BYD. Build your dreams.
Hi, this is Carol Shabalala, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. It's more fun when it's for fun. Playing responsibly is always a winning strategy. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
In a world where markets move fast, confidence isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. So Prime XBT is empowering a new generation of traders with a next-level trading experience that puts control back where it belongs, in your hands. So catch 702 in conversation with Prime XBT this week on The Money Show with Stephen Curtis, unpacking their seamless integrated trading platform. Discover how they're redefining what's possible for traders through knowledge, cutting-edge technology, and trust. Don't miss it. Prime XBT, empowering traders to succeed on 702. Trade responsibly. Trading comes with risk.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Morning. I personally can't wait to see the ANC become an opposition party. Well, if Cyril leaves early, well, they have 2 to 3 years just to govern, and it will actually give us an idea of what to anticipate in the next 5 years to 10 years. But obviously, if Cyril leaves, the ANC will become an opposition party, and that's fantastic. It's about time.
Hey, morning, Ray. O'Brien $4 Ray. If Ramaphosa was to leave early, the ANC will win again. This is the classic play of the ANC. Remember, there's no leader of the ANC in the past, I would say 3 to 4 terms, that has finished a term. So this is the time for the ANC factionalism to say, no, we are renewing ourselves. We're getting rid of Mr. Palapala. We are bringing someone credible. So ANC will win if this Ramaphosa goes. Thank you, Ray.
Good morning, Ray and the team. Yeah, we shouldn't be worried that who will take over when Ramaphosa decides to leave the ANC or the government, we don't have capable leaders in the ANC. You know, the only credible guy that is a likely candidate to take over and is credible too is Lamola, Ronald Lamola. I like his leadership style. He's cool, calm and collected. And I think he might even give a challenge to the EFF, you know, Malema. They're the same age and they were once buddies, but so the name is now. It's Mbui in Midland.
Right now, ANC is actually trying to push for having Patrice Motsepe as their president. Yeah, interesting. Now, let's say if Patrice Motsepe becomes the president of the ANC, what do people then think of Patrice Motsepe being the president of the country? As an ANC president, would people vote for the ANC now because Patrice Motsepe is the president of ANC? Or they will still say, nah, he's corrupt and everything else, we don't want to vote, we'll then change our vote. I think food for thought on that one. Thank you.
I think we just need to clarify, though, and I was looking into this whole story. Who would come after President Cyril Ramaphosa? And Patrice Motsepe, he's clarified his position on the ANC presidency rumors. And I need to read this for you. It says, I love people who say that South Africa does not need a rich man to be president. They are so correct. Absolutely correct. Being the president of a country is sacrosanct. Sacrosanct, he says, is holy. I love challenges, but I also know the sort of challenges I shouldn't waste my time with. He has said no. Patrice Motsepe has said no. He doesn't want to be the president. He wants to carry on with his business. I suppose that does clear that up.
EWN Sport.
Oh, 6 wickets down. What's going to happen next?
Yeah, Ray. It's you can be stressed now, right?
Yeah, I'm a little stressed.
You can be stressed. Well, the good news is that regardless of the outcome today, because there's no way India can win this game, so they're going for a draw. The Proteas will still have won the series. It would just be nice to beat them comfortably with a whitewash win today. So it's day 5 of the second test. India 130 for 6. They're chasing 549. They're just literally trying to bat the day out. Well, the Proteas need 4 wickets with about 45 overs left in the match. This morning, Harmer took 3 wickets, of which 2 were in the same over. He's on 4 for this innings, with Sami struck after tea. Back home, Burhan are through to the T20 Challenge final. They beat the Warriors by 5 runs. Tonight, Dolphins take on Province for the place in the second qualifier. Orlando Pirates are now level with Sundowns at the top of the Betway Premiership table. Bucks behind on goal difference, but have a game in hand after last night's 2-0 win over Chippa United. Mahopa and Apollos with the late second half goals. Coach Abdeslam Wadu.
We had numbers in the box. It's what we had worked this week. So we are very happy. We know that it's this kind of games are going to be so difficult. But at least we scored 2 goals with the clean sheet. I want to congratulate the boys again, and we keep going to focus for the next game.
Tonight,
I'm going to interrupt you because we got another wicket.
Okay, Simon Harmer. So that's 5 for the match. So 5 for this innings. Yeah, fantastic. Tonight, Orbit College hosts Stellenbosch. The Champions League, Chelsea beat a 10-man Barcelona 3-0. Blues boss Enzo Maresca.
This is a big win, especially because the other team was Barcelona. But nothing changed in terms of what team we are, what we can achieve. So for sure it's important tonight game. But no more than that. It's finished. Now focus on the next one that it's difficult again.
Manchester City lost 2-0 to Leverkusen. Benfica got a first win under Mourinho, beating Ajax 2-0. Juventus beat Bodo Glimt 3-2. Newcastle lost to Marseille 2-1. Dortmund thrashing Villarreal 4-0. Tonight's selected matches. Arsenal are hosting Bayern Munich. Inter away at Atletico. Liverpool host Eindhoven. PSG welcome Spurs. Real Madrid up against Olympiacos. The latest from the cricket. India 130 for 7. So the Proteas just need 3 more wickets in order to get a whitewash series win. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Finance and Economic Development MEC Lebogang Maile will present Gauteng's 2025 medium-term budget policy statement to the legislature on Tuesday, 2nd December 2025 at 10 a.m. MEC Maile will use the mini-budget to outline the province's economic priorities, fiscal direction, and plans to drive inclusive growth and sustainable development over the medium term. Join the conversation about public finances on Facebook and X using hashtag Gauteng MTBPS 2025. This message is brought to you by the Gauteng Provincial Government.
You are not dreaming. You are repeating. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
You've heard the songs, but until you've seen it live, you haven't experienced the magic of cats. Coming to Monte Casino from 17 January until 22 February, it's the memory shared by millions. Book now with Web Tickets, brought to you by Peter Turin and GWB Entertainment.
EWN Traffic. 14 minutes to 9 o'clock. The rush hour is almost over. How's the traffic looking, Amal?
Well, I guess the stubborn routes at this moment, Ray, are the routes around the Baku interchange.
Aye.
Obviously, because of that earlier truck that was stuck right near Vincent Chabalala Road. We still have got delays coming out of the Baku interchange. And if you're heading towards Melrose, more delays between the Baku turnoff and Corlett Drive, as well as on the N1 South leaving Midrand towards the Baku. So please be on the lookout. Those are our hottest areas at this particular moment. And then heading towards the city of Tshwane, we've got roadworks on the R21 North. They are causing delays approaching Olifantsfontein Road, as well as on Olifantsfontein Road itself towards the R21. Please be on the lookout there. I'll have more updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
You're up at 4 a.m. trying to find the cheapest building materials, but the Zaminis just shop online with cash build whenever. You then pay for expensive delivery or pay Tsepo to fetch you with his van. But the Zaminis inquired about free local delivery. So abantu bazotini, when you are still bargain hunting, but the Zaminis are already putting up festive decorations. Be like the Zaminis. Make smarter decisions for your home and shop online with Cash Build for quality building materials at the lowest prices. Cash Build.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for butcheries, restaurants, beauty salons, and more. Here's Gert.
I definitely have peace of mind that Business Outsurance is protecting our business. I do think Business Outsurance are the best insurance company out there, and they gave us the best quotes.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
At Premier Hotels and Resorts, business travelers staying alone enjoy a complimentary drink every night of their stay. So, whatever your tipple, it's on the house at any of our 24 hotels and resorts nationwide. Book today at premierhotels.co.za.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
It's 11 minutes to 9 o'clock, and here is something very special, something that's very close to all of our hearts. So it's Corporate Take Care, promoting and encouraging corporate leaders and all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. Today we're featuring Total Energy's CSI manager, Talita Sashane. But join us every Wednesday as we highlight the efforts of companies and brands dedicated to building our country. Our Corporate Take Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and, of course, Prime Media Outdoor. 702, let's walk the talk and make a difference together. Every now and then you stumble across a story that reminds you just how powerful music can be, and I think that's the big thing. Not just a sound, but as a lifeline. Since 1997, think where we are now, 2025. Since 1997, Total Energies has been quietly helping and producing an extraordinary project in Soweto called Busk Aid, where young people turn violins and cellos into passports for a brighter future. And I'm loving this story. I think it's absolutely massive. I really do. So, like I said, joining us is Total Energy's CSI manager, Talita Sashane. Talita, hi, good morning. Good to have you on 702.
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity. It's really a privilege to be here and share the story of the work that we do with Buskate, but actually the work we do in the arts and cultural space.
Now, I started mentioning it then, and I thought, I'm not going to steal your thunder because it's such a beautiful story. Tell us more about Buskate. It's been going like us since 1997, and it's got quite a good reputation.
Yes, it started, 28 years ago.
Sure.
There was a concert that they did, and our former MD attended that concert and connected with Rosemary, the founder of Buskate. And from then on, the long-standing relationship was established. We have been supporting them from infrastructure, the music school, setting it up, furniture, office space. But then, when they started to really get exposure, they went to tour in Europe. They had like 23, overseas tours.
Wow.
And we've supported and sponsored them in those. That has enabled those young people to really transcend. They've gone from learning an instrument, like you mentioned, the cello, the violin, the bass, to being able to write music, because they don't only play, the classical music. They play kwela, they play jazz, they play amapiano.
Love it.
And so they're able to create, and then they're able to perform. What that has done to them is, and I mean, it's young kids really. It's from 7 years of age or even younger, all through to young adults. You can imagine over 28 years, they've transcended, that skill, and they're able to have the confidence to take on anything. So they're able to get on stage, and perform classical music, and then go back and perform music that they can relate to as young people.
But here's the thing, since 1997, how have you kept it going so long? I mean, normally it's a great initiative, but this is amazing.
Yeah, because for us, when we get into something, it's about the relationship that we forge. So it goes beyond, the financial contribution. They become a part of our family. So when we have events, for example, we invite them to come and perform, and we source the service from them. When our leaders come, we had the head of foundation of Total Energies, the Global Foundation, come, for example, and we took him to Buskate. And he interacted, the young children, they were teaching him how to hold the violin, how to do the basics. So for us, we really get involved and immersed in the communities where we have business, because it makes sense for us. Those are the communities that we serve. But in turn, they are value adding for us. They are our customers, but also, we live within them. For us, this opportunity with Buskate, for example, imagine your child comes back from school, and right around the corner, instead of being in the street, they're able to go and access, a violin lesson.
Beautiful.
And, it takes discipline to learn that skill. It takes years and years and years. And that's why we've stayed on it for long, to see the impact that you see. The alumni already is performing in various orchestras, locally, internationally. I mean, they bridge the gap.
I think it's good. I mean, some of these young musicians have performed for Nelson Mandela, Queen Elizabeth II. How does this feel, knowing that you've produced this, you've helped to produce this? Because these musicians, you've given them a skill, a beautiful skill.
Yes, and I think that's what we mean by, being involved in supporting initiatives that not only, impart a skill, like you say, but young people are able to take that and take action and transcend and define and take control of their future. And that's where we start seeing the social impact of initiatives that you do. It's not so much that you just, give a skill, but they actually take it and make something out of it. And for us, that's the impact that, makes us stay. And our country needs it, communities does need that.
Most certainly does. It really does. Okay, so with the continued funding today, what are some of the next big steps and dreams for Busgate that Total Energies hopes to help unlock? We said 28 years. I'm presuming another 28 years. What happens next?
Yes, another 28 years and more. But what we're hoping to achieve is get more people involved. We do more when we lean on each other and leverage off each other. So, initiatives such as yours, for example, enable us to reach to other partners and say, shine a light on this initiative, shine a light on other initiatives that we also do so that we can partner and make a bigger difference. Because collectively we do more. And I think it will benefit all of us as a country.
Yeah, I think it really will. And of course, you'll see some shining stars go forward as well. And recently, I was with one of the Philharmonic orchestras in this country, and those violins are just so majestic, quite something. This is a beautiful project for Total Energies to keep on going. I mean, you would think it was the BBC Proms. I know you were involved in that as well. That must have been such an experience.
Yes, I mean, for us, the cultural dialogue and heritage space, it's one of the key pillars of the foundation work that we do. So we make sure that, we have a diversified portfolio. It benefits young children, like you say, but most importantly, it transcends. It bridges that gap. And it provides access where you would say an opportunity where opportunity wouldn't necessarily be. And, for us, positioning young people, and you can see, I mean, from examples, I mean, you've got an alumni of Busgate like Samson Diamond, who has transcended the space and has grown, and had so much exposure both locally and internationally, and has come back to really, be a leader in the space. We've got, Kabetsi Goodman, who's started very young in the program, and then now she is actually teaching the young children there.
Oh, beautiful.
So, as a mom, imagine, like I said, your child comes back from school and they, have the opportunity just in their backyard, where they are living, to be able to experience such. And, it transits culture as well, because they don't only, get to play, the culture that they know. They can play cultures from all over the world. You can essentially get to Busgate and say to them, I'm from this part of the world. This is what I love doing. And they customize it for you and play it for you.
Well, we do have Amapiano, you see, and you did mention that. So that's a very good move, a really good move. We can take our sounds overseas. I think that's the big thing. So, I mean, going overseas, we're exporting our culture, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And we are opening up the world for these young people. We make it possible, and, skill like that, where it doesn't matter where you start, it doesn't matter where you are, but you can reach and communicate and transcend any space confidently, so because you have the confidence of the skill. I mean, that's priceless. If we see that impact coming through for us, we've done our bit, but we'd like to call on everybody really to join us in making sure that, opportunities like this go beyond just, Deep Kloof Soweto, but, reach other communities as well. And, that's the impact that we can all leverage off.
Delita, how many students do you have? I mean, how many participants? It sounds quite something. You've got a whole orchestra going there.
So, I mean, credit goes to Rosemary and the team that works with her there at Busgate. I mean, they say in 1997, they started with 35 students, and they've gone up to 120.
Wow.
And, and they say they don't really actually advertise for the program, but, beginning of the year, they have an intake of kids who want to come and join. And, unfortunately, their space is constrained. They can't take everybody.
Sure.
But they do try, to, accommodate as much as possible. And it's all ages, I'm telling you. And the discipline of the children, because to learn that, you have to do it over years, like I say.
Yeah.
So it's it's quite phenomenal, the work that they've done.
Is.
And the environment which they've done it at.
Right, here's a final question for you. If you had to describe the Total Energies Busgate partnership in one word, what would it be and why?
I would say it's transformational. I mean, it not only impacts them, it impacts us as well. It gives us energy, and we give them energy, and that's why I guess we are Total Energies.
That is why you are Total. You're giving energy to everyone.
We're giving energy.
What a lovely way to end. CSI Manager Talita Sashani from Total Energies, thank you so much for coming through to see us today and being a corporate that cares. We really do appreciate you. Thank you.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
And that wraps up our show. That wraps up our time together. Bongs is back tomorrow bright and early between 6 and 9. Have a lovely Wednesday. Until next time.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sriso Zulum. 4 suspects, including a judge and a leader of a well-known church, are expected to appear in the Pretoria Serious Commercial Crimes Court this morning. They were arrested on charges of corruption and money laundering during an operation conducted last night. Lauren Isaacs reports.
The Hawks say yesterday's arrests follow serious allegations of corruption involving attempts to influence a civil case currently before the High Court in Pretoria. The matter apparently relates to a well-known South African church embroiled in a long-standing succession dispute. It's alleged the presiding judge received gratification from the main accused in exchange for delivering a favourable judgment in the matter. Meanwhile, warrants of arrest have been obtained for 3 additional suspects believed to be involved in the alleged corruption and money laundering scheme. The Hawks say a probe revealed a money trail amounting to millions of rand that allegedly exchanged hands among the accused. Lauren Isaacs, Eyewitness News.
The chairperson of Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption insists that suspected criminal Vusmuzi Katmatlala appear before the committee despite his legal threats to interdict his much-anticipated hearing. Soviet Likhanyanya says Matlala will appear today, tomorrow and possibly on Friday. He is expected to answer allegations about influencing police operational decisions around the political killings task team and also paid millions to politicians like suspended Minister Senzo Mchunu and former Minister Bheki Cele in return for political favours. Matlala will also face a grilling from members of the committee on his 360 million rand dodgy police tender, which was cancelled because it didn't meet requirements. Matlala's hearing will take place at the Kgosi Mampuru Correctional Facility in Pretoria, where he's jailed. Babalondenza reports.
Whether Vusumuzi Matlala would appear before the committee over the next 2 days came into question yesterday after his lawyers wrote to the evidence leader and chairperson Soviet Likhanyane asking for more time to prepare. Matlala's lawyers say their client is not prepared for the appearance and requested additional time before giving evidence to the ad hoc committee, which travelled all the way from Cape Town to hear his evidence at the Pretoria prison. Matlala is currently behind bars awaiting trial for attempted murder. Likhanyane told the media last night after SEP's CFO Puleng Dimpane's appearance that it's all systems go for Matlala's appearance, which was planned weeks ago.
Mr. Matlala is available to meet with us tomorrow, Thursday, and probably Friday if we will not be done by Thursday. So it's all systems go.
Likhanyane would not be drawn into the legal threat by Matlala, referring all questions to his lawyers. Babalondenza, Eyewitness News.
Attention has shifted for former Hawks head, two former Hawks head, Godfrey Libia, for allegedly interfering in a police operation at the home of alleged underworld figure Katiso KT Molefe. Molefe's Sandhurst home was raided by members of the political killings task team in December last year. Molefe was also arrested on the day in connection with the murder of Vereniging engineer Armin Swart. Members of the task team previously testified at the Madlanga Commission investigating alleged police corruption that the Hawks interfered in the operation, demanding to know what the investigation was about. Oren Singh reports.
Former Hawks head Godfrey Libia will have to provide crucial answers as to why he instructed Hawks officials to go to the home of Katiso KT Molefe and verify if there was a legitimate police operation taking place. Testifying before the Madlanga Commission yesterday, Gauteng Hawks head Ibrahim Kadwa confirmed to Co-Commissioner Advocate Sesi Boloi that he received instructions from Libia to verify if it was a legitimate police operation.
Is it common, and has it ever happened before this, that General Libya called you to ask to verify an operation of the Hawks?
Never before.
This was the first time he did that.
But before yesterday's testimony commenced, Justice Mbuyiseli Madlanga questioned as to why they had not yet heard from Libya.
Isn't the only person we should hear from really General Libya now? Have we not heard enough from all the other officers?
The commission will resume this morning. Aryan Singh, Eyewitness News.
And France's top appeals court will rule in a case of alleged illegal campaign financing against former President Nicolas Sarkozy. This is his last chance to escape adding a second definitive conviction to his growing criminal record. The court in Paris will rule on whether a lower court was right to convict him of illegal financing in his failed 2012 re-election campaign. If it upholds Sarkozy's conviction, he will serve a 6-month term, possibly with an electronic bracelet. Sarkozy, a one-term president from 2007 to 2012, has faced a series of legal challenges since leaving office. Gold is trading at $4,159.41 an ounce. The rand is at 17.17 to the dollar, 22.65 to the pound, 19.89 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $62.77 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident on the N1 North heading towards Sunny Hill. It's right after Rivonia Road, causing delays. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 South approaching the Vincent Chabalala Road. This is due to roadworks along the route. Please be on the lookout and expect delays coming out of the Baku interchange.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 25 and 27 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: 4 suspects, including a judge and a leader of a well-known church, are expected to appear in court in Pretoria this morning.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyatela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
7 minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the Clement Manyatela Show. Thanks for joining us here on 702. I hope you're well this morning. Today we are live from Durban in KwaZulu-Natal. This is where the 2025 SALGA National Members Assembly is taking place here at the Durban ICC, brought to you by the South African Local Government